to talk the Kēki, not in Iran.
Konnichiwa!
Minasan, Jesus, I'm out of it. Konnichiwa, goki kenyo, minasama.
We're off to a great start. Thanks, guys. But
God,
anyway, welcome to another episode of Talk the Kēki. I'm Matt, and to join me, the man who found an anime that creeped him out more than Koikimo. Ethan, what's up?
What anime was that?
You were trying to evoke the rule with Clueless First Friends.
Oh, well, it didn't creep me out. It just...
that was a joke.
Yeah, no, I was like, no, Clueless First Friend didn't creep me out. It just doesn't hit. It just doesn't hit the same, bro.
Anyway, how you doing? Hello, Facebook user. Yo to you.
Let us refresh and see who thy Facebook user is.
Well, it's not on my end.
Let's see. Fuck.
As you can see, he's half dead for this week.
I had a little bit to drink. I'm sorry.
What?
Nope. There we go. No, I accidentally clicked on the live, thinking I would do that. I'm trying to figure out who the fuck this Facebook user is.
Johnny Sanchez.
Oh, Johnny, that's my boy. That's part of my rave group. Yo, what up, G?
Anyway, yeah, we're back on our Friday after had to do our shit last week on early.
Indeed.
So we did that. Couple of penultimates, not all of them, some of them. We have two finales. Well, I got two, but we got one Sharon.
Indeed.
And then a couple of news, not much. And then, yeah, we're also going to get right to it. The Wednesdays and Thursday episodes are going to be double, or remember as much as we can. We'll mostly be talking about this week's, but we'll try to refresh our memory from the previous week. So we might start off with most of those, except for the finale.
Indeed.
So to get the big ones out of the way, more or less.
Man, I walked away to turn on my fan and went from 3 users to no users watching. Son of a bitch.
They'll come back. They're both on our social. They're on both our Facebook pages and the groups. So
someone love us.
Yeah, no, they'll love us in the downloads.
That's true.
Alrighty. The manga Snack Bouse, Basue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Snack Bouse is getting the anime. It's a gag comedy type thing. No updates or anything like that. So we'll find out when there's more information on it.
Hi.
City Hunter is getting a movie, Angel Dust. I have not seen City Hunter, so I don't really know much about it.
Oh my God,
I know Starman was happy about it when he shared it. Looks like it's a comedy detective type series. Let's see. There was another movie in 2019.
Oh, who cares about that? Fucking speaking of movie, the Black Clover movie dropped today. We need to watch
Black Clover came out. That'll either be an episode or a Keki shop. We'll see whenever we get it done.
No, we can include it in our 7-hour podcast next week, right?
Yeah, I suppose we could.
We'll have Starman. He's watched it already. He knows. He gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll probably watch over the weekend.
Yeah, I'll find time for sure at some point.
Yep, and some animes will be ending, so that'll be good for us.
Yeah. Any other news?
Couple more. Tonikawa is getting a ONA original in summer 23 called High School Days. It is a 4-episode original. Nasa is a teacher in this old girls' school.
Love you, Kimmy. Kimmy's the one who said the best podcast ever. She doesn't listen to it too often, I'm sure, but I appreciate the love.
We appreciate it. Welcome to the show.
Yes, we appreciate you guys. Another person from my rave group.
All right, awesome. Let's see. Dr. Stone, second core or part 2 is officially in October 23. So good job there. And Link Click.
Link Clink. What's a Link Clink? Please.
Link
Click. That's how we say it in the podcast. Sayonara minasan. Link Clink.
Yeah, Link Click to as a release date in July.
Sucks for you.
Yes, sucks for me. It's on Billy.
Oh God, then you're not gonna. Oh, I guess you're gonna have to summertime rendering that bitch.
Well, I can pretty sure I can cast it on my phone on the TV.
Yeah, because I was gonna say Billy is not available in the United States. That is a Chinese streaming service.
Well, it is a Chinese anime.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That
was actually how I watched it.
That makes total sense.
Yep. So July 12th is also going to premiere at Anime Expo, July 2nd and 3rd, along with other various animes like Mushoku Tensei.
Woo!
A few others, but I got a couple for Netflix. Zom 100 and My Happy Marriage. They're going to be in Netflix.
Hey, I'm watching My Happy Marriage too, so that's one for me.
All right, awesome. And Dark Gathering will be on High Dive.
Watching that.
Yep. I think Liar Liar is picked up by Crunchyroll.
Makes sense.
Nobody picked up Blue Orchestra yet.
Oh,
that was gonna be a thing I was gonna binge if I did not decide Reliana for you.
I would have watched it too. No, I would have watched Blue Orchestra too because we were both interested in that. The concept was so nice. We like music
right now.
It would have made total sense. But
right now their rating is 7.21. So that's not bad.
I was surprised when I saw Skips 81% on Analyst.
For which one?
Skip and Loafer.
Oh yeah, it's
81.
It's 8.25 on MAL. It was on top 5 for a while, but unfortunately, Dr. Stone bumped up after its finale. It
was a good finale. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah.
You can see it in the background.
Yep, I see it.
Dude.
Nice. Alrighty, let's get to the reviews. You picked up 2. You're not really gonna review the one I am watching because I'm gonna be talking about it unless you want me to save it.
Man, I was thinking about that last night or the night before is when I started watching it.
I could put it on hold and just go to wait for finale if you want.
I kind of want you to if you don't mind.
All right, I'll give your thoughts on it though. You are finally watching Skip and Loafer.
I am watching Skip and Loafer.
Finally, what do you
I'm only
think?
2 episodes in and it's already in my top 10. I don't know where. Don't know where,
but it's gonna be somewhere.
It's gonna be somewhere in the top 10.
It depends on how the other 10 episodes go for you.
We'll see. Yeah, I absolutely adore Sosuke. Adore him, and I also adore what's Yumika? Yumitsuki?
I talk about the
blonde girl. Let me refresh. Yuzuki, yes, I adore her. I feel so bad for Mitsumi at multiple times. She's just so all over the place. I'm just like, oh, that poor girl. Kawaii.
Yeah, the adorable country bumpkin. Yep.
Yes, and I can't wait to see how everything progresses. Like, there's that feel good dynamic. And at first, I was like, I'm not really in the mood for like a feel good shoujo. But then, like I said, I saw the first 2 episodes, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. Like, I was smiling a lot. I smiled a lot. I did fast forward Rainbow Vomit. I was like, nope, I'm good. I watched her give her whole speech episode 1.
Now you see her shouting by it. Like, that's her nickname.
Yeah, but now she's Puke Girl. Yep. She is not Puke Girl. But no, in all honesty, I really, really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. Looking forward to the next 10. I'm hoping to catch up on that by the finale. Since we
next week,
times. Yep. And so that'll be good. I did manage to pick up another one that I'll be talking about here that Starman put me on, has been talking about.
Yeah, I'll talk about mine later.
Yeah. So, and we both picked up one from Starman. Yeah, I picked up My Love Story with Yamada Level 99, and that was pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie, like I don't want to give I don't feel like I should give a whole like episodic review on this because of the fact that I'm so like behind.
Because you've been that's your overall thoughts on the show.
Yeah, my overall thoughts on the show. It's a really fun show. I can see most certainly the appeal between Yamada and Akane. I definitely like their dynamic. It's interesting from the facet of like normal rom-coms involve like an older boy or similarly aged boy with the girl. In this instance, it's an older woman, going after the high school senior. She's in college. I think she's in her second year of college, I think. And he's a high school senior. So that's interesting. And there's facets to that I really like because of the fact that as we progress and as their like flirting and stuff continues to like increase, we get to a scene where basically what's it called? Yamada tells Kane like, yo, like I'm punching above my weight. Like you're unobtainable. And he's too dense because he's not really good with women to realize like there's something special between you two. And everyone else around them recognizes that it's getting special. Her best friend, all the people of their guild, their gaming guild, like they all recognize that there really is something special brewing between the two. And now we're at the point basically where Akane, as we get to the penultimate, or the penultimate episode did happen that I did watch, we get to a point now where Akane is basically, I think, taking it upon herself to make that move because she knows that Yamada won't do that. And so I'm very much looking forward to that. Basically, in the penultimate, there's a scene where they're being accosted by a couple dudes from a mixer that her best friend went to. And then my favorite character, I think he probably is my favorite character on the show, whose name I'm forgetting now. Give me 2 seconds and I will pull that name up real quick. Where is Love with Yamada? Where the fuck is it? Yamada. Where is it? Not Yakubo, Skip. Yamada's a Saturday show. Here it is. Got it. It's at the top. My bad. Eita. Love Eita. Love Eita. Yes, Chris. What's up?
Yes.
Yes, Eita. I love Eita. And she basically like confronts Eita after he gets out of work. And there's something I need to talk to you about. Ideally, it's probably gonna be between trying to like figure out how to like get Yamada to like, confirm his feelings with her or whatever the scenario may be. But basically, it's like I said, it's very interesting and dynamic from that perspective. I feel as after watching the shows though, like I feel like there's just something that's like kind of amiss, for me in terms of like that romantic aspect. Like it's really fun. I love the artwork. The artwork of the show is really nice. Animation is not the best, but that's not a deal breaker from my perspective. It's just really hard for me to, I guess, invest in it. Maybe because it's a binge and not because I invested in it on a weekly basis. But like I feel like it's tough for me to judge it against like a Kubo, which I thoroughly love Kubo. I can't judge it against Insomniacs because I thoroughly enjoy Insomniacs. I can't compare it to Dangers in My Heart because I really genuinely feel Dangers in My Heart is the rom-com of the season, unless the finales say otherwise between Insomniacs and Dangers.
Or Kubo.
I don't know if Kubo's reached that. No, Kubo may not reach that. So it's really tough. Like right now, I have Yamada in my honorable mentions along with Kubo. We'll talk about Yuri. Yuri ended up great. Raeliana, I'm pretty certain, especially with Skip and Loafer, is going to get bumped off of my honorable mentions, unfortunately, even though I enjoy Raeliana. I'm gonna
it's just too much, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably gonna I'm bumping it off right now, unfortunately, because I gotta put skip here. I'll put it right now in the honorable mentions for now, Skip and Loafer, and I'll move it up as I go. So it's hard for me to judge it based off of that, but still, it's a really solid series. Really glad I picked it up. As I had mentioned to you previously, I probably wouldn't have picked up My Clueless First Friend, and I really probably should have picked up one of these shows from the get-go. Probably, given the two, Skip and Loafer would probably be my choice between that and Yamada as the casualty. But yeah, those are just my initial thoughts, I guess, on my love story with Yamada, level 99. So I guess one of the other things also I can mention also about the show is like the gaming aspect. Like it fits the profile of the show, which is fine and dandy, but there's just something about like the way, because it's like one of those like MMO, and the way that they animate that MMO like type of game, like I don't really fuck with it. And I guess maybe because I don't fuck with it in like real life, like it just doesn't hit the same. I'm not like, oh, this is really cool. Like I'm like, that's all right. Bless you. I'm like, it's all right. So I guess maybe that throws me off a little bit as well.
That makes sense.
I've already graded it. Like I've graded the majority of the season. It's a solid 4 for me, so it's up there. But
Right.
it just doesn't have that like final like oomph compared to how I feel about Insomniacs or Kubo or Dangers. So
Right.
my 2 cents.
Okay. Okay, so those are the ones you picked up. Now talk about the ones you have, the Raeliana and Galaxy.
Yeah, I gotta remember about what happened to Raeliana, quite honestly. Give me a moment while I try and I didn't do a review on it Raeliana anymore, so it's really tough for me to be able to Raeliana. I'll just read part of Starman's. I think that probably helps me jog my memory. If I read his review. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically the show kind of focuses more on Raeliana trying to like, or let me phrase that, the priest, the high priest, trying to get Raeliana to be like part of like her trying to be part of her like her apprentice basically. And so as they are doing the ceremony, he's a part of the ceremony, which is rare. He doesn't normally do that. Like he's never not part of the ceremony, especially the last couple of years, because Vivian has been part of it. And so basically, as they're doing the ceremony, Raeliana's with Noah, and they are like, just, they do the lighting and everything is good. They're just talking, and the priest wants Raeliana to call her grandpa, and she's just like, it's kind of cringe, dude. Like, I'm not really fucking with that. But that brooch that I had mentioned to you last week, she gets a special brooch, and the brooch, we find out later on, is like a specific mineral that's mined within the country. However, there's strict laws against it because of what happened. Basically, as Raeliana is sitting in broad daylight, the brooch starts like lighting up and it begins to crack. And they're like, oh shit. Basically, the brooch is gonna fucking explode on her fucking head. And so the priest, to save Raeliana, nobody can save her at this stage because everybody's like too late or too far. The priest uses his powers, manages to stop time to get the brooch off of her, and defuse it with like some sort of holy power. And they defuse the brooch, and then we find out after that, like, yeah, it's this particular mineral. It's only found here. Its export is prohibited though because of the powers. Basically, the more light you feed it, the more it becomes like a bomb in essence, and it ends up blowing up. So Raeliana was this close to dying. This sets Noah off because he's like, holy shit, I just lost. He almost lost the woman that he loves. That Raeliana keeps trying to put it off. Like, no, he doesn't love me. No, he doesn't love me. But it's obvious that he's fallen in love with her. So as Raeliana is basically reflecting, she's like, wow, like I was this close to death. And she's like, maybe, like, she starts thinking about what the priest's words from a couple episodes back. Like, once you enter this dome, you enter this place, you're destined to die. So she keeps thinking, like, even though I'm a side character and I avoided death in the story, am I destined to die because I am this woman? She starts to think about that, and Noah comes into these like she's like floating in like the purification like pool basically that they have in the temple. He walks in there and basically demands to know what Raeliana knows. Like, she's like, he basically knows, like, yo, you're hiding something from me. We took care of the people you said were trying to kill you, and yet you almost got killed. So who the fuck is trying to kill you? And she's just like, no, like, she's trying to play it off. And Noah like is becoming like physical, like not in a bad way, but he grabs her hand, like, no, you're gonna tell me right now. Like, he's visibly shaken and he's acting out. Raeliana gets pissed off, pushes him in the pool, and said, do you know where you're at? Like, do you realize where you're at? This is a place of purification. You're not supposed to be in here unless you have specific permission to be. You need to take some time to cool your head, pun intended, since he's in the pool. And she's like, you're upset because I haven't told you the truth. That's fine. We'll talk about it in the morning. And Noah kind of like, sits back and he's just like, wow. And so he apologizes later on to Raeliana basically and says, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, be aggressive with you. I just care. Da, 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 da. And so then a bunch of other random stuff happens in between that. But at the end, the main key, it's a main reveal. Vivian, we see Vivian's brother. I guess Vivian's brother has like some sort of significance, but he's talking to his father, and his father at the end of the conversation was like, hey, check up on Vivian. She's been shaken ever since the news of the news of Ray Liotta almost getting killed by that like exploding brooch happened. And so she's like, oh, all right. So he goes, and as he's about to enter Vivian's door to her room, you hear Vivian shouting, like, you weren't supposed to kill her or almost try to kill her. And you hear the voice in the background saying, you wanted something. I merely gave you what you wanted because you wanted to attain something, right? And so the brother walks in the door, sees Vivian. Vivian's like, oh, when did you come back, brother? And he's like, no, I'm sorry for interrupting, whatever. And the woman stands up, who Vivian's talking to, and it's a woman with blonde hair, and she introduces herself as Beatrice, Ray Liotta's best friend. So Ray Liotta's best friend gave Vivian the brooch to kill Ray Liotta. Talk about fucking drama. Talk about fucking drama. Like, the story is on its ass right now, basically. It is completely on its fucking ass.
Oh my god.
That's why it's so tough. I'm like, I just bumped really out of my honorable mentions, but with a twist, a plot twist like that, man, that's some good fucking shit right there, dude. So that's that. And so we move on to
Galaxy.
Give me a second to pull it up. So funny because it's like, oh, I would have like the last few weeks, like I would be like, oh, I just saw it a couple days ago. I saw it, but no, I've been so like ahead of time. I'm like, oh shit,
I know it's a curse sometimes.
It is a curse because now I'm like you. I'm starting to forget shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed. So, episode 10 of Galaxy Next Door, I would say, was pretty tense actually. So we get basically the lead in to Shiori, and Shiori's parents like expected her to like. You expected what's it called, Ichiro to be like a thug, but he ends up being a nice guy. And so they recognize, like, oh, they see Fumio and what's her face, whose name I'm forgetting, Machi. And so they're like, oh, is that your family? And they're like, yeah, my brother and sister. So they're like, all right, they got to go to bed, make some time tomorrow, we'll be at this hotel. Okay. So excuse me, Shiori and Ichiro have this plan basically, and they're like, we're going to hit on these points. We're only going to talk about these points, and that's that. Right. So the day comes, and they end up going to the meeting, and it ends up being a tense meeting. And basically, Shiori fucks the plan up completely by speaking through her emotions. And her mother is a complete and absolute bitch. Like, she does not believe in Ichiro. She doesn't believe in their relationship. Like, and the straw that broke the camel's back is she basically called her own daughter a hussy for letting Ichiro touch her stinger and get in this predicament in the first place. And Shiori gets pissed off, and she's like, basically, in essence, fuck this, as kind as she can. She runs away, and so Ichiro runs after her. Her father ends up running after them both, and they try to calm her down. They calm down. They're like, all right, let's try this again. So they go back into the meeting, and her mother's still being a bitch, about shit. And she basically says, what have you even accomplished in your time away from the island? You said you wanted to be a mangaka. What have you even done to accomplish that? So Ichiro basically explains the entire story, the entire thought process. And then he also starts bringing out like her work. She's like, oh, Shiori helped me with this. Like, she helped me with the color design and background. She's working for another artist. She's doing digital work on there. Like, she's actually like really like proving herself. And like I really want this to work. Like, Ichiro really puts his like soul into this conversation to really try and reinforce that they really want to be an item. And so the father, being the most reasonable one of the bunch, was like, all right, let's do this. We're gonna cut your allowance. We're gonna cut your allowance down, and we're really gonna make you like really have to work. Like, you're gonna have to stay financially independent as much as you can. Ichiro, do you accept responsibility? And he's like, of course, I accept total responsibility. She's my girlfriend. And we're like, all right, we're going to give you a year. After another year, we're coming back to get you, no ifs, ands, or buts, basically. And so they accept the terms of the conditions, basically. And there's some other stuff that happens that is really kind of inconsequential. But basically, that's the end of that piece. So they get their year. Shiori's going to continue doing what she's doing. They're going to continue to work on their relationship. And they did also agree to do the annulment. So that way they can like kind of get that monkey off their back with the whole like, retribution and punishment and things like that for being basically forcibly engaged to Shiori. But still, like they just have like a nice convo, basically how Shiori recognizes like, hey, I wanted you to stick up for yourself because I want my man to be confident in himself, and like you did more than that, but I apologize for putting that pressure on you. And they're like, no, it's okay. So they have their like cute little moment, and they embrace, and it's nice. So it's not bad. I will say Yamada is better than Galaxy Next Door. Galaxy Next Door isn't on my list this time around. Like we said, just too much better shit, honestly.
Right.
Jano?
Alrighty, let me do my thing. I will talk about what I did pick up.
Yes. What are your thoughts?
Thanks to Starman.
KamiKatsu.
Yeah, working for God in a godless world.
Okay.
It's
Please do tell, sir.
I can't process. I'm only 2 episodes in, but it's just like
I can't process.
It's not going to make anything for me.
It's not going to make anything for you.
No. I did pick because I did need a fan service / ecchi show to watch.
I don't have one by definition.
Yeah,
I don't really have one by definition. The only one, like, let me see what I put for the fan service ecchi. I'll give you a spoiler. I put Dead Mountain Death Play as mine for the awards because that's the ecchi thing that we were watching.
I would just put the character, not the show in general.
But the character's in the show, so
I know.
I gave it to that by default because you're not really watching, because I can't really say that. The only other option would be Hell's Paradise because there is sexually suggestive things in there, but that's not like a focal point, and it's not
it's
like
not, no.
And so it's not a focal point Dead Mount either. It's just that you see a lot of cleavage,
a
lot of boobage,
and it's just mostly her.
Yeah, basically. So,
but basically, Yukito gets sacrificed. He's in this other world, and he wakes up by being jerked off by Aru. Her name is Aru, and yeah, she was fucking talking like this is how you wake a guy up.
Is she a loli?
No. That okay. The god's a loli.
The god's a loli, but not the main character, the main girl.
No. She's a big boobs, generic big boobs, pink hair. But
playing with the dick.
Yep. But basically, because of this, she apologizes. She takes him to the village, and this place is ran by a cult where it's basically people get sacrificed, like to die. Like these people have to die, and it's only people in the village. So they'll call a select number of names, and one of them was Aru's sister, Shiru.
Okay.
Who also runs the bar. And of course, all these fucking guys, they do a pyramid while she pours wine on them for some reason. I don't fucking know. We have a character I hate. His name is Roy.
Okay.
He screams degenerates, and he's definitely a lolicon. But
okay.
We'll get to that later. But yeah, basically, Shiro's about to go. Shiro gets hung. She dead.
Rip.
Yep. So Yukito's like trying to stop this. Like why do this? Apparently, they're getting killed because they're afraid to die, and because they're afraid to die, we have to kill them. The night.
That sounds stupid.
Bertrand, basically, he grabs a sword. He slashes the other girl, Aru, and Yukito with the sword. They're practically dead. And up in the sky comes the god Mitaba. She makes the lolly. She makes everyone basically get buried alive, killed.
So they Sodom and Gomorrah the whole village.
Yeah, while reviving the people that got killed. And that's it with her powers because she has 0. All because she needs followers. The more followers you get, the more power you get. Okay. And this is the world that doesn't believe in God, doesn't have God, nothing.
So it's similar to Platinum Men.
It's ideal for me, but yes.
Ideal for you. It's like Platinum Men.
Ideal for me.
Okay.
So not even Yukito. believes in her and believes in the whole god. Like, you son of a bitch, why don't you believe in me?
And he doesn't believe in her, and she revived him.
Yes. No, because apparently from his family, she's like one of the gods, and apparently the one that god is useless. Because he said,
so she's Aqua.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that's why I'm gonna create this big flood. They're all gonna drown. These people are gonna come here soon in a few days. Let's kill them. And she doesn't have that much power. And of course, the fucking Roy wants her to marry him. So she says no. Because he's like, oh, like she likes Yukito, even though Aru does not like that. Because it's called Kulto Suba for a reason. Yep. That's why he called it that. That makes sense now.
Okay.
That makes sense. But okay, so basically they had to make people believe that she believes in God. They all believe in God, she gets power. And fucking she uses Aru. Like, oh yeah, I sense you love someone. It's like, even though because she loves Yukito. So oh yeah, he loves people with small boobs. And she's like, you know what? She goes to the tree stump, like, get an axe, I'm gonna cut him off. Like, what? It's like, no, like I like big boobs, stop. But she has 3 followers because Aru and her sister Shiru believe. That was it.
Sounds like a waste of time.
It probably is.
And you know what's crazy? It's gonna win Starman's funniest anime of the season. It's gonna win his comedy of the season. You already know.
Like over Skip and Mashal and Kodo. No. I will keep watching. The cult stuff is intriguing. I just hope they explore more of that and not just try to get followers. Also, Roy became a follower because he was fantasizing about the goddess crushing her, like stepping on, licking her feet, crushing the thighs.
So it sounds like the show that I picked up feels a lot more beneficial than the show that you picked up.
Yes.
Hopefully you don't have that similar feeling when you watch Raeliana.
If I might watch something else at that point.
I just thought about it. I just thought about it. I should have held off on Raeliana. I'm sorry. I gave you a big ass spoiler.
Oh, that's fine. I'll forget.
Are you sure? I feel bad now because
you're good. I will not review Skip still, but I did enjoy it a lot.
I'm sure you did. It's one of your top 5.
Oh yeah. But yeah, the cliffhanger. I was like, dun dun dun. That fucking bitch is back. Grow from one of the other characters.
I haven't seen her yet.
You'll see her next. Is a girl with the glasses.
The one in the back that she's part of the science club.
Yeah, not the student council one. The other one. Yeah. You'll see.
No, she's a bitch. That's unfortunate.
Kurume.
She's a bitch. That's unfortunate.
Not really. She hasn't really made friends except for her social circle. So all these people are out of her social circle. So you kind of generically judge them, but she actually warms up to them.
That's interesting that there is a social circle period because of the fact that in Skip and Loafer, like the class is very much unified for the most part, and it obviously centers around. Is this more of what she thinks in her head type of thing? Because she hasn't interacted with people outside of her people in a social clique. Okay. And
she actually grows in this. That's actually really good. I loved how she acted in this penultimate.
Okay.
So you'll like her. She'll warm up too. All right. Moving on. Mashal.
Okay.
2-parter. I'll talk about the last week real quick. It's Mash and his friends against the Fangs. They're all separated. First fight, Lance against Worth. And Lance was able to win that one, but the main one is the second battle with Mash. With Mash.
Oh, so there was a guy named Mash. I was like, oh, gotta catch them all.
No. Against Abyss Razor, the guy with the evil eye and had the mask that he encountered a couple episodes ago.
Okay.
So we had this fight, and it is just a great fight. Abyss Razor uses his evil eye, but Mash thought it was a bloodshot eye because how deformed it looked.
Good.
So he asked if it was a bloodshot. Like no, it's my power. Like, the fuck you talking about? It's just like, oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, basically, he uses this to basically slow down Mash's speed. So when he slows down, Abyss gets that speed. It increases for him. So guessing that type of thing, he like starts punching a bit, but Mash still has his strength. He was able to land a big punch on him and fucking knocks him back, gets him out of that little speed circle thing. But Abyss tries to do it again. But Mash gets him again. He's knocked down. Abyss is defeated. And basically, he talks about how he wishes he could be normal because of the evil eye thing. And Mash offered, when this is done, like maybe we could be friends. And Abyss says, I can't do that.
Nah.
No, like there's like where I am now and all this, I cannot. But so Mash moves on ahead. Great episode for there. Now today's episode 10, we get another fight. It's Dots and Finn against the duo of Love and what's that guy's name? The other one. No, not that one. Chris, if you're here, help me. What's the other one? While I look for his name. Anyone have it?
Doesn't seem like it.
No, hold on. Nobody? You're here, Chris. I hear you. Hold on. I think I got it. Nope. No, I have it. All right, so we'll call him Stone Man. What's the guy that's with Love? What's the guy that the other wizard that is with Love in that little 2-on-2?
Dumbledore.
I'll call him Stone Man. But basically, he's like, I'm leaving, so Love, you take care of those two. And Love goes, so, do you guys think I'm cute? Like, do you love me? All this, like, she's a psycho.
Do you love me?
But Dot's like, she's like, but Dot's like, she's a psycho. She's a psycho asking this on the first time. If I get the wrong answer, she might kill me. But damn it, I like girls like that. I was like, wait, I can't love you. I can't love you. Sorry. Yep, I see the cat. Hey,
girl. Hey, baby.
Yep. So. But he's like, yeah, I can't love you. I love someone else. I am engaged to Lemon. Like, I'm going to be engaged to Lemon one day. So, not interested. So, Love does her tornado spells, knocks him out. Milo, thank you. Yes, Milo leaves while Love tries to take care of Dots. Dot gets his ass kicked to bits. It's like, I'm going to ask you one time. Do you think I'm cute? Do you like me? And he starts phrasing again. It's like, she tried to kill me. And she's asking this again. She's still my type. And then Finn's like, I think we've been here before. It's like, I'm not doing this again. Like, nope, I cannot. I'm still in love with Lemon. Then she's like, die. But Dot's true power gets activated. He has like a cross type of thing on his head. I forgot what he called it. It's power of friendship, more or less.
Ash Wednesday.
What?
You said a cross on his head, and I was like, oh, it's Ash Wednesday.
So he does his explosion grenades again. He misses intentionally because he doesn't want to hurt her. It's like, fine, like I'll spare you, but you gotta leave. So she leaves, and now Milo comes back, and he has one of the stone figures take a bite out of Dots. It's like, fine, I'll do it myself. And as he's about to go kill them, you see a random sword stab him. He's out. He's down. And it's the divine visionary, Rain Ames. He comes. He's the big one there. He's the strongest one. He gets the swords again, stabs the guy multiple times with these swords. So Milo's down for the count, and then Rain's just stomping the shit out of him. So like I don't need your words, speak for your actions. And you know what? You need his ass whooping. So just stomp, stomp, stomp. Milo's practically dead at this point, while Love sneaks away.
So he's Stone Cold Steve Austin them. Stomp the mud hole.
Basically, stomp the mud hole and walk to dry. That's right.
All right.
Austin!
Yep. Milo!
He's like, what? Speak up! What?
What?
Exactly. So,
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Rain walks ahead because he's doing his own thing. And then all of a sudden, Mash is behind him while eating a cream puff. And then Rain turns around, he sees him, is like, "Hold on, are you a spy type of thing? So I'm going to test you with the magical testing." So he uses sword magic, hits him with the sword, but Mash catches it. He's like, "Hey, what the fuck's the big idea, guys?" It's like, okay, you caught that. Let's try this. Let's just step it up a notch. I was like, 3 swords. It looks like he got hit, but nope, he turned it into a chair.
Austin.
Yep, basically. So you try one more time. There's a bunch of swords, and then Mash he took the one giant sword, and it fucking used it as like a baseball bat, bunting the other swords. And then Ray's like, "Wait, what's your name?" And he got his name, and he realized that it's Mash, and it's what the professor, the main professor, Dumbledore, told him. Hey, there's another guy who's kind of like you, who wants to be a divine visionary. So Ray lets him know the guy you want to fight, who has all those gold coins. He's in the other room. Abel, let you know though, he is tough. He is still a divine visionary candidate. May our paths cross again. Mash breaks down the door again, and then Abel's like, "Do you keep breaking doors? Like why do you rip them apart?" Like, I knocked.
Mm-hmm.
That was the cliffhanger. So the penultimate will be the big fight between Mash and Abel. I cannot wait.
Ooh.
Great fights. Still funny. Moving on. Since this is not a finale, I will do it. Vinland Saga. I would close with this, but again, I have a finale already.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, picked up where he left off when Canut's army was surrounding Thorfinn, and he tells him, like, last chance, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to stop me, or... Because I'm not leaving. Like, I'm not leaving the farm. I'm going to take it. So you got to kill me. But there's 100 of them, and you're injured, and Einar can't fight because he's useless. So what are you going to do?
Austin! I'm kidding.
Thorfinn just said, I'll run. He's like,
Nigeru!
He's like, I will run away, far, far away, somewhere where your rule can never reach me. And then Canut's like, I plan to expand my empire. So where are you going to go? And he talks about how he knows of a place and why he's saying he's going to run, because he told the king he was a waste of time. Just like there's no point negotiating with you.
You ain't shit.
And he talks about how like the whole expand the farms, like you could work with them instead of trying to take them.
Right.
So that's why he's like calling him out on his bullshit. Like, why are you doing that? Like, you could work with them to grow your empire instead of just killing them and having people that don't know what they're doing.
Right.
So it's like, you know what? You're not gonna listen to the reason. Take it. Go fuck off. I'm leaving. And as he's walking away, Canute laughs. He's actually laughing. No, like a genuine laugh, not like an evil laugh. And he was thinking to himself, like, he actually has an ally. Like, he's someone that wants peace, but Canute wants to still expand, but he thinks killing people is the only way to get it.
Right.
So like, if I keep doing it my way, what are you gonna do? Is like, I don't leave me a big mess. I don't want to clean up your mess, basically. Like we both want the same thing, but the way you're doing it, I ain't cleaning up after you. So we actually go the next day, and you find out that Canute, he fought back, and he told people, like, don't engage in farms across the land that way anymore. So he actually listened to Thorfinn, And Floki, one of his right hand men, he did not like that. But Wolf says he told them like, Wolf's a little disappointed in you, right? But Canute's like, it's my decision. Are you disappointed in me? And he said no. Like, you actually did the right choice. Like he's slowly trying to become like a good guy type of thing, but it is his own demented way. And then Snake, Omar, they all found out that what Thorfinn said, it actually worked. And Fortigil, he hates that because he was there ready to fight. He's ready to kill people, one against all. And he saw that they were all gone. So he's pissed. Because he wants to fight. He wants to die in a blaze of glory in the battlefield.
Oh.
Basically. So that happened. Thorfinn is he talks there at Arnheid's grave with Einar. And he told Einar basically, come with me. Like, let's look for Vinland. Let's create a peaceful land together without slavery and war. Let's do that. So,
okay.
Yeah. Even though 600 years later, the English settlement finds it, but it's not in their lifetime. But so Thorfinn, Einar, they're on the boat. They're on the boat with Leif Erikson.
Look how cute that picture is.
He's cute.
Wait, I see. There you go.
Yeah, I see that. It is cute.
Ah.
But yeah, Omar told Thorfinn how much he wanted to be like him, the way he handled that without having to kill. Because Omar's, again, he's seen the ugly side of war, and that's something he doesn't want what like he thought he did. So he wants to lead by his example. And he actually owns a farm now after Kettle's fucking episode with beating the shit out of someone to death and fucking having people get killed with his own stupidity. So Kettle is injured, retired, no farm for him. And as they're sailing away, Snake tells Thorfinn and Einar his real name, which is Roald. And he thanks them for everything. Thorfinn doesn't want any treasures or anything, just make the farm a nice place. We're going to do our own thing. The metaphors from the carts area in the very beginning, the first episode, they tied into the ending here. This felt like a season finale, if I am being honest. And I loved how they did like that. But the finale will feel like an epilogue, and it'll be like a nice thing. It's a reunion, judging by the previews. So, fantastic stuff. Sad to see it end on Monday.
Is that it? Like it?
No, there'll be more. There'll be more. Just will Mappa do it? And when will it happen?
How do you feel about like the show? This you said in particular, this season is a lot of story building, world building, character development, with a lot of action, kind of like sandwiched in the middle, and now it's ending with more character development.
Right.
How many nuts do you guys have?
I banned him, so.
Oh, already?
Yeah.
4.
Sorry,
Answer's 4.
Bye, Alibaba.
Boom.
No. Why is the comment not going away?
Huh?
The comment's not going away.
You know what you do? There we go.
Oh, there we go. Good. But that was the question again. Sorry.
So I'll reiterate. So
yeah.
You mentioned this season is a lot of character development and world building, along with a lot of action, kind of in the middle. How do you feel about it ending with more character development instead of like that, like action? Like, oh,
I feel like it came full circle of what they were trying to do with Thorfinn. Come into the realization of his way of peace, acting like how his father would. And he learned that from the beginning, and he used that to help him out at the end to stop the war from continuing on. So I like it for like that.
Yeah.
Like it did not need to end. It did not need to end in war. So this was the right thing.
You know, something else I noticed, unrelated, is when you don't lean back and you lean forward, right? I have white, but when you lean forward, I was gonna make a gay pride joke, I was like, it'd be fitting that on Gay Month that you're wearing a shirt that says Switch.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Moving on. My finale, Rank of the Kings, the Treasure Chest of Courage. Last week, not much happened. It was first half was Miranjo's little background on how she befriended a small demon when she was a kid. Didn't explore that one much. The other half was Boji giving people gifts before he left, like mementos of stuff that he treasured most. Like one was like a mirror. For the King Dida, he gave him an acorn because from when they were kids, they like throw acorns at each other, type of thing. So Dida's like, you know what? I'll plant it for us. It'll grow big when you come back. He was looking for Miranjo and couldn't find her. Says, okay, fine, he'll come back for it. But he goes to visit the family's grave sites, and he notices that someone was leaving flowers for them.
Right.
And it was Miranjo. So Miranjo got to say goodbye to her. He ventures off. That was it for last week.
Fucks off.
The finale. Yep. Fucks off. Does his adventure with Kage. This one, the finale, is basically you see Boji and Kage on a horse cart, and they looked over. They saw someone that looked like King Dessa, but they're like, no, it can't be him because he's like huddled over, like he looked like a bum. like that couldn't be him. He's the king,
right?
So we go back a bit when King Dessa, he goes to the legendary treasures because he's now the #1 king,
right?
In the ranking, the guy that protects the place says, so pick one treasure you want, anyone you desire. And he's looking at the swords, and he realized that they're cursed because there's just ciphers on them, and they change with every king.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows not to pick them up because it's a trick. So he talks about how these treasures are a waste of his time. He wants to talk to a devil to grant his wish, which is to have Oaken back to normal, not immortal. He wants him to be human again.
You didn't choose height and sight and ears?
No. No.
Because plot.
You know. But what you call it? He sees. Yeah, I hear it.
Why? Dosta. Nanda. Gomen.
But yeah. Dessa, he sees the little girl demon, and it says, oh, if you grant your wish, she'll turn into a hideous monster. Are you gonna grant your wish just to ruin her? And you find out he does make the wish. And he says he said with a smile on his face, he would give anything to fix his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Oaken turned human. He's not immortal anymore. He's like still in his little zombified days a bit. He eventually woke up. Despa went to contact Despa, like, hey, it worked, but nothing. He didn't hear anything. He fell off the face of the earth, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I can't get in contact with him. And then Oaken's like, I'm gonna go find him. So he goes to where he was. He goes, is like, where's my brother and all this? And the guy says he's gone. And you find out with the cost of getting him back as a human, Dessa lost all of his memories. And he's like disappeared somewhere. So he did that. He sacrificed his ranking, everything just to get him back.
Mm-hmm.
So Oaken, he's like fighting off, he's pissed off, he's upset, he's trying to find him.
Mm-hmm.
And as he leaves the area, he sees a giant monster, and it's a god. It is a godlike creature. They call him God. Yes, but yeah, but they call them gods. And he's like, so you did all this work here, killing these golems? And he's like, yeah, they're good. I hate those fucking things. Those guys inside. I'm gonna go kill them, okay? So you stay there.
Okay.
But Oaken, remember what his brother says, like, one, don't fight a god unless you really have to, and that's when you have to protect someone. So that's what he was there. Like, no, you ain't killing them. So he's using himself as baits. But Oaken gets scared to the point he pisses himself. This great warrior pissed himself. But you find out that was a distraction because a way to get him, you got to catch him off guard.
Mm-hmm.
And he did catch him off guard, and he fucking stabbed the guy. He stabbed the god.
Mm.
He got slashing, slicing. The god's dead. Oaken killed the god.
Mm.
And now his quest is to find Dessa, which we found out that was him at the beginning. This mindless feign that Boji saw. And then we get back to Boji and Kage. They're in the village, small village. They have a place to stay. And they wonder what adventures await them. It ends. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Again, it's just side stories, but I feel like it is important to watch to know how things happen in between.
Sure.
It was stuff that happened at the end of it. So, worth watching, but nothing great. I do look forward to season 2 whenever we get that. Who knows when that will be?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All right. It only took us an hour.
We spent an hour, yep. All right, let's get to some of the doubles real quick. Get them out of the way. There's not that many. Let's start with Yuri is my job.
Ooh. It's picking up big time.
I really liked last week. This one was just okay.
I didn't mind it.
Like we'll get to it, but last week is more flashback with Tachibana.
Yes.
She gets to Kaneko. She's trying to get her one more time to convince her, like, hey, back off with Hime.
Yep.
Because I'm not doing your Ansha Western. If I do win it, I'm ending romance at the cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kaneko talks about, like, one, mind your fucking business.
Right.
And basically, I'm not doing anything. And she's like, I don't get it. You said you love her, but you're not doing anything. Like, what's your deal?
I just want to be a creep. Leave me alone.
Yeah, basically, like, hey, like, let me love her from afar. Fuck off. Don't talk to me. You're annoying me.
Don't watch when I sniff her pantsuit.
Exactly, yes. Like, don't, like, whatever I do, mind your business. Just let me tunnel wash mentally.
It's a mind
That's
fuck.
basically what she said.
I think you'd be satisfied just looking at somebody just mind fucking them every day and just knowing it'll never happen. Like, that gets old, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
And then a good chunk of this is a flashback when Tachibana was practically a newbie at the cafe when Mai did work, when she doesn't anymore. And there's another new girl called Nishidera, who was Tachibana's Western.
Yeah.
And then so it was the 3 of them. Everything was fine until a new girl, Goto, came in.
Goedo.
Or Yuko.
It's Goedo.
Well, Gotou. That's what she says. Well, that's her gimmick name is that.
Yeah, her gimmick name is that, but her name is Goeto.
Yeah, but her actual name is Goto.
Okay. Not her.
Yeah. No. Or Bochi.
Oh, Bochi's last name is Goto? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, more you know.
Yep. Basically, the new girl comes in, Yuko Goto, and she's flirting with Nishidera the whole time, in front of them, in front of the cafe, behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the point where Tachibana caught him that because she kept pulling her to the back, like, hey, can you come with me? I'm going to help you out here real quick. I'm going to make out with you, basically.
Pace the Monko, yes.
Yep. But Tachibana caught them in the act, and then Goto's like, hey, stop interfering, mind your fucking business.
Stop being a cockblock.
Yeah, and then Nishidera's like, I don't want to be a Western anymore. I want to be hers. I want to be my new girlfriend at Western.
Mm-hmm.
So that made things awkward for the cafe. And we thought things were going well. But Goto's like, bye!
Sayonara, minasan!
Yep, I got a new job, so thanks. This was fun. You were just a fling. Sorry I ruined your life. Bye.
Yep. It's too hairy.
Yep, too hairy. Yeah, with the white hair. Carpet's master drapes.
I was just gonna make that joke. You son of a bitch.
Yep. So now Nishidera is devastated, and basically it made her quit. But we'll get to that later. But
Indeed, we shall.
I got to the point where she quit. Now this is where Mitsuki came in, and now these two. And then basically, he made sure I talked to Kaneko. He's like, "What's wrong with you?" And there's like, "You're a jerk." But they're both jerks. But basically, he's like, "You're not talking to each other." Like talk to Tachibana. No, I hate her.
Ugh, pouty.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Kaneko was very pouty. So they left. You see Tachibana talking to Nishidera, who is, you find out, is the cook.
Yes.
She stuck around.
Yeah, she cut her hair. She had long, flowing white hair, and she cut it now short to a short bob.
Yep. Yeah, basically, she's like, you're why I still have a job here, even though it's this.
Yeah.
Actually, talked about it. She doesn't know what to do because she doesn't get romance. And then Nishidera's like, stop interfering.
Isn't it weird? The guy, the gyro. I always say gyro. It's gyro, I think, right?
Gyro, yeah.
Yeah, it's gyro, but I always say gyro.
Yeah.
The gyro. No, but the guy, isn't it interesting? Like they tap the normal typecast gyro is like the one that's like super into love and like just like dick.
And she's the complete opposite.
And she's the complete opposite. Yeah, I find that an interesting little facet how
it
they
is.
switch that up.
Yeah, and she's basically, hey, like we made our choices, let us deal with it. Basically, don't interfere. Like you don't know. So that was it for that episode. Then today, Tachibana. Well, first is we have the results. We're gonna post them the next day. But,
Tachibana won.
Yep, with Mitsuki in second.
Yes, Kaneko voted for her.
Yeah, you find out she voted for Tachibana still.
Yep.
And then Tachibana went to go apologize to Kaneko, but she wasn't having it. Nope. And then Hime's like, Kaneko, go talk to her. Tachibana, leave her alone. You guys sorted it out. Be friendly.
Yep.
So she's controlling Kaneko, and Kaneko was happy about that.
Yes, please.
Telling you.
Yeah.
He made a time, I'm telling you.
You want me to lick my toes? Yes, baby.
She would. Oh yeah, basically Tachibana, she wanted to apologize in public. Kaneko did not want to have that, but eventually she did.
Yep. So
they have a private talk.
Yep.
And then Tachibana's like, I'm not interfering. Just I want to know what's up.
Right.
I want to understand because you're not making sense about you love her, but you said you won't interfere, but like what the fuck?
Right.
And she talked about I can't love her because that's how Hime is.
Yeah.
And she actually told Tachibana what Hime is actually like.
Yep.
Like she has a different personality, and I am the only one that knows about it.
Yep.
That's why she's overprotective of it.
And she says she's unlovable, basically. She's unlovable because of the fact that she's never her true self.
Yeah. And then that with Tachibana, now she's getting it.
Yeah.
And she actually feels bad for her. And
she also says Mitsuki loves her.
Yeah. It's like if ever you should be stopping her.
Yeah, you should be telling her.
And then she's like, what are you talking about? It's like and she made her remember like when they had that little argument.
Yeah.
That was real.
And
she's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I got the wrong girl.
Basically.
Yeah, so but now Tachibana wants to help Kaneko. Like I want you to actually express those feelings. Like I can't stop love with them because it already happened. Like it's already happened. I can't just be in the middle of it now but with you.
Yeah.
I want to actually. And then Kaneko
is he made that much of a top where she can have a poly relationship with two girls?
No.
You know, she's not.
Unless they were, I think, unless they were incredibly rich. No.
This is true.
I think Mitsuki is rich. Yeah, she was rich in the.
Yeah, she is rich.
So she has a chance.
She does. She's got longer fingers too.
Yeah.
Come in handy.
Exactly.
Why do you drink water like Kenny Omega?
What?
You haven't seen the way Kenny Omega drinks water?
No.
So on BTE, he has this like I think it's like a gay joke. He'll go like this. He'll grab the water with both hands. He'll two-hand that bitch and it'll be like. So and when you crush the water in your hand, I was like, oh, so why do you drink water?
I have never seen him drink water like that or drink water. Period.
So you don't watch BTE, right? That's why.
No.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay. And then Kaneko talks about. She says for the first time out loud, she loves Hime.
Mm-hmm.
And like Tachibana pulls her in for a hug. Kaneko's crying. They finally came to an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the cafe. They talk about the results. Tachibana's like, I didn't expect to win, but I'm here now. I thank you all. She praises all three of them. And then Kaneko steps forward.
Mm-hmm.
They are Western.
Yes, that was really cute.
And Kaneko, of course, is like, don't butt in.
Yep.
But she said it quietly to her. It's like,
Yep.
I'm not like, I'm here to help you. I'm just, if you need to show someone that shoulder to cry on,
Yep.
I am here.
Yep.
They hug. She calls her by her first name, Subi-san.
Yep.
And you find out her rule is everyone just look out for one another.
Yep.
Don't know ending relationships, no making relationships, nothing. Just be there for one another.
When one person is hurt, you make sure that you're there to be there for that person.
Exactly.
Yep.
And Nishidera, and of course Nishidera is happy about it because she's minding her fucking business. She's getting it kind of.
Yep.
Mai is still useless.
Yep.
And that was it.
That felt kind of like a finale too.
A little bit, but depends on one more. Is Kaneko gonna go back to being crazy, or?
You know what I would love? I thought about this literally as you were talking and describing the show. I would love to see like Mitsuki's perspective. Like I would love to see what Mitsuki.
She took a back end after she made it with Hime.
Basically,
yeah, it was now Tachibana and Kaneko.
So like if you're putting into the atmosphere that Mitsuki loves Hime, I would love to see something regarding that because we see Mitsuki's background in terms of how they disconnected. Now they reconnected, and I would love to see like that if there's any sort of obsessionable facet to her personality where she's at school and she's only thinking about Hime, or she's like, she like doesn't want to think about Hime, but she starts blushing and she gets like flustered because she's thinking about Hime. And maybe
so you want Mitsuki's flashback of what happened after
they made up. After they made up, I would love to see what she's thinking of. Like, she like, does she dream about them? And like she wakes up in like a cold sweat, realizing like, oh my god, I think I really love this girl. Something like that.
I think we'll get a little bit of her after work, hopefully.
Yeah,
I want to see for the finale. I want to see more outside of the cafe.
Yeah,
see how they are.
Yeah.
And like, or
this is one of those that could probably be extended 24 because then you can go, or 20 or something, because you can go and you could be like, oh, like Mitsuki, like I don't even think they have numbers. They don't have each other's numbers. They can get each other's numbers and be like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Let's go on let's hang out, and it's a date.
Yeah. But yeah, but basically, but I can see why Kaneko does feel threatened by Mitsuki because
of course
she thinks because of it basically like. Hime's real self was exclusive to me, but now I feel like she's sharing it with her.
But Mitsuki, or sorry, not Mitsuki. Kaneko's still in the wrong though because of the fact that she basically.
She definitely is in the wrong. But I can see why
Hime to not love anyone. She wants nobody to love her.
She does not want to be a real self to anyone else.
Yeah,
and Mitsuki is getting that,
and she doesn't want to share that with anybody.
Yeah,
it's still incredibly wrong because no matter.
Oh yeah.
There's plenty of situations in life where you can love somebody, but like that you just can't be with them. But that doesn't hinder you from accepting that like there is somebody out there for that person, even if that person wasn't you. So Kaneko is still being incredibly selfish, and now she's kind of roped Sumika into it by helping her understand that. But Sumika, much to her chagrin, doesn't understand romance to that facet. But I don't think any of the girls would understand that since they're all in high school. Like, this is stuff that you learn as you become an adult and you go through relationships and you go through ups and downs and trials and tribulations with dating. And that's something that you won't find like that particular piece within that scenario,
Right. But no, it was nice. I mean, I am looking forward to the finale.
So it's holding on, man. Like this, I'm looking forward to the finale because it determines whether it's making honorable mentions or not for me.
It's tied with one more bumping off in the mention section. It just
Yeah.
depends on how those two end because their finales are next week.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Indeed.
or it could be none. Or it could be none of them. I don't know.
Indeed. So,
well, we got one more double. So, Tonikawa.
a great last couple episodes.
I love today's more,
Yes.
but this was a good setup.
Yes.
Basically, it's the cabin trip that Nasa and Tsukasa got invited to by grannies.
And everybody's coming.
Yep, Kaname, Aya, Chitose and her maids, Ginga.
Yep, they're all there.
And we don't know why yet.
Nope.
Right now, it's just a simple cabin trip.
Yep.
So, of course, everyone's been doing that. Everyone's been doing their own separate thing. Kaname has a car for some reason.
Because she said I have to finish up some work.
Yep, which
we'll find out what the work is later.
Yeah. Did anything else significantly happen in the last weeks that you recall? I know people wanted to hike up in the mountains.
They went on the hike in the mountains, and then when they finally got up to the mountains, to me, the scene of the fucking show was that sensual moment that Nasa and Tsukasa had at the riverbed.
Right.
They managed to take a stroll off. So basically, they take a stroll off. They walk by themselves, and they finally get some alone time. And in the most sensual of ways, oh, I love it. Nasa goes up to Tsukasa like, "Oh, you smell so good," and she's like, "Oh, stop it!" And no, because they want. She's like, "Oh, do you want to go in the Never mind. Let me backtrack. They got to the riverbed, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to frolic in the riverbed?" And she's like, "Yeah," but she's wearing a long dress, so she's like, "Would you hold my dress up while I go frolic in the riverbed?" Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah," and he holds the dress up and he holds her very tightly, so sensually. Is like, "You smell so good," and bites her like the nibbles on her ear, and they're just like, she's like, "Oh, Nasa," yes. And she like starts to moan a little bit. It's so like sexual but yet so sensual and tasteful. Oh, it was so good, so good.
And then Granny came.
And then Granny came.
Yeah, basically they don't like. Oh, it's fine. You guys are young. You guys are married.
Yeah, go ahead, get it in.
Basically, go ahead,
get it in.
You want, if you fuck her, I won't stop you. I'll look away. I'll make sure people don't come this way.
Basically, she's a true G.
Yep, she's yeah. It's always the grannies.
It's always the granny. Granny's true G.
Yeah, granny's not. Yeah, granny's fuck, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at Betty White till she died.
Rip. Look at Martha Stewart.
Well, yeah, she's a new one. That fuck.
Nah.
She killed her and took her powers.
Yes.
All I said, man, Betty White's still fucking. I don't fucking care.
Well then,
hey.
It's like Dolly Parton.
Yeah, well, yes, but that was basically the more or less of last week. But
yeah, well, there was like another part where basically the annoying bratty bitch, what's her name?
Chitose?
No, the other one, the short one.
Oh, the
brown one.
Kiyama, she got lost.
Yeah, she got lost. They went after her, and then Nasa gets lost, and he ends up falling asleep on a rock. And then he's woken up by Tsukasa. But I will say that actually that is another piece. Speaking of that, the episode actually begins with Nasa having a dream of the moment that he met Tsukasa. And then he wakes up from the dream, sees Tsukasa there, everything's good. And then he has that same exact dream on the rock, thinking about the time that they met, And it's all focused, like the last couple episodes in particular, including this week's episode, today's episode, it really focuses on the genesis of their relationship. And we find out, as we'll talk about in a few moments, that Nasa may know a little bit more than what he leads on in terms of his feelings and his suspicions in regards to things. But now we can move on to this week's episode.
Yeah, and we found out what everything is for. Well, first they're having a barbecue. They're at the partying.
Yep.
And what happens?
Surprise reception.
Yep, it's basically a wedding.
So a surprise wedding reception. And Tsukasa's like, I've never heard of this before.
And none of them have Kaname. This was Kaname's idea.
Yep. She gathered everybody around. She did a little
She
montage, a
yep,
funny
with
montage of how they met.
she got it wrong and how it happened.
It was kind of funny though.
I know it was funny. It's like, who the fuck? Like, that's not how I went.
It's like Nasa wanted to really kiss on Tsukasa. Instead, he kissed a truck.
Yes,
That was
like,
funny.
yo,
Truck-kun got him.
Yeah,
Almost
Truck-kun got him.
Almost got him.
But they, oh yeah, now 2 years later, all this happened, and now here we are. She calls them both up. She
Yes.
wants them to give a speech.
Yes.
Tsukasa says no, fuck that. Asa's
Tight.
like, I got it. I'll do it.
All
And she's
right.
like, no, don't you do it.
I'm doing it.
Yep. And he's like, he thanks everyone. He gets lost in thought a little bit. It's like I could talk about it all day, but I'm not going to bore you guys with all the details. But he talks about he actually loves her. Also, during all this, he was thinking about why he married her. Like why
do people get married?
Yes,
he gives a good answer. In regards.
Yeah, he gives it to her at the end. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Chitose. Well, you heard them moaning.
Yes.
But he gives Chitose the answer later. But basically, I love her and all this. Thank you. I'm glad I'm here.
Yep.
And now they got the cake, and they give Tsukasa the veil. Now she looks like a bride.
Yep.
And Nasa calls her beautiful.
You're beautiful.
So they cut the cake.
I always hated that song. It was so annoying.
Yep.
You're
They're
beautiful.
happy. People are playing around in fireworks, except for Tsukasa, Nasa, Jen Chitose.
Yep.
And then
Tokiko comes and says, "I'm gonna have a talk with Nasa. Don't mind us."
Yeah. Well, first Kaname drags Chitose away. Like, oh, I'm getting the coffee. You come with me.
Yep.
Like, why? Then Granny gets Nasa to the side, and she actually apologizes to him.
I'm the reason why
that she disappeared after 2 years.
For 2 years. Yeah, she went on a whole quest for me for 2 years. But I'm glad you waited. I'm glad you waited for her for 2 years. It means a lot.
Yeah.
And then she tells him, she's like, that question you asked earlier when you were talking to Chitose, why do people get married? You should ask Tsukasa that question, but make sure you ask her that when you're alone, because she'll give you an answer. So, they have the conversation.
Because she's very shy in front of people.
Yeah. So then, eventually they have the conversation. They leave. Oh, no, sorry. Before that, in the conversation, she's like, oh, Tsukasa's a bit different. And Nasa says, like, listen, like, she's like, oh, no, sorry. Let me back up. Tokiko is saying, like, I bet you're wondering, like, what she asked, like, what part do you do you remember from that night? And he goes, well, after, Tsukasa said that, like, she'll be with me if I marry her, I lose consciousness. So I don't remember how I got in the hospital. And so she's like, oh, you're probably wondering how you got there. And he's like, stop. Like, I may not, like, she's like, listen, I'm not as dense as I look. Like, I have my suspicions on how I got there. And regardless of my suspicions, I still love Tsukasa. I still love being with her. And Tokiko thinks in her head, like, oh, okay, so the boy knows. So he knows it's true, or whatever the case may be. And she's like, all right, well, thank you for, loving Tsukasa, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to go on my way. You kids have fun. And so Nasa returns back to the campsite to see Tsukasa. They're staring out into the beautiful stars in front of Fujisan. And basically he asked the question, like, what is it? Why do people get married? And he says, Tokiko wanted me to ask you specifically that while we were alone. And Tsukasa's like, of course she did. But she starts going into like a beautiful soliloquy about basically, like, it's about legacy. It's about, when it's all said and done, like, your body will give out, you'll die of old age, you'll die in an accident, you'll die of illness. But the one thing that doesn't die is real love. And people are always searching for that star, that light that never fades. And even if you leave this earth, like, you have love, and that love is eternal. And that's what people like look for the most. And it's relevant because obviously, given how and what Tsukasa is that hasn't been revealed yet, she recognizes this over the course of time, as she's like, everybody gets older, nobody escapes death, but love is what really, makes it all worth it in the end. And she tells Nasa this, and Nasa's just like shocked beyond belief, but also overjoyed, that she feels so deeply regarding their marriage and things of that nature. They stand in front of the under the stars, like, they wrap their hands with their like marital fingers together and they kiss. It's a really nice scene, really nice cap to the soliloquy that Tsukasa gave Nasa in terms of why people get married, because of legacy and because of death and life and mortality. So that was really nice. And then the episode continues. They end up walking to their campsite, their glamping tent, and they have a king size bed. They've got soda for champagne.
They set it up so they're far away from the other campers.
Yep.
They're alone.
Yep. The tent is a what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Not fluorescent, translucent. It's a translucent top, so you can still see the stars and the moon while you're in bed with your lover. And Nasa is awkward as fuck because he wants to fuck.
He's like, they'll hear me, but that might not.
I kind of want them to. Yeah, I kind of want them to hear me. He's like, I just want to fool around with my wife.
Kaname wants to hear it.
Oh, Kaname probably jills to the thought of it.
She has a camera somewhere.
Probably. Wouldn't shock me at all.
Yeah, but he doesn't know what to do. It's like how did people ask someone to go to bed with them? Like how?
Yeah, he's like, I wish they would have taught me this in high school.
Yeah, they don't teach you that.
They don't. No, that's the point.
Yeah, so basically, he's like, so
you want to watch the stars in bed?
Yeah, like I think we'll get a better view there. And she's like, all right. The reluctant, like, okay.
He's like, hey, you want to put your head on my shoulder?
She's like, why? Well, first, like, why? Just that was why when he put her arm around her shoulder when they were sitting down.
Yeah, but they're sitting down on the little futon. And but then he's like, you want to put your head on my shoulder?
They get closer. It's like, you smell good again. It's like, I'm covered in sweat. Like,
it smells good.
Okay. And he licks the sweat off as she moans.
And that's where the episode ends, with her like, Nasa.
Yeah.
So he got it in, baby.
Baby.
I mean, at this point, you gotta like suspect, like, they fucked around.
But no, really good set of episodes.
It is indeed closing strong.
Yep. Okay, now our doubles are done till our finale. Let's get to Clueless First Friend.
Pretty solid episode.
Yeah, we got more with what you call it, Kasahara.
Yep.
She sees what she thought it was a cat tail. So she was like trying to play with the cat.
It was a plastic.
But it was a plastic bag, and Nishimura saw this, and then Sumira's like, "You saw nothing." But she actually warms up to us, like, "I heard you had a cat."
Yep.
It's like, yeah, like invite me over sometime.
I want to see your kitty.
Yep, but Nishimura is actually happy, like, oh, like maybe we're friends now.
Right.
Yeah, so all that has happened. That's great.
Yep.
And then it's a zoo thing. It's a hangout at the zoo.
It's a zoo date.
Yep. Nishimura, Takada, Umi, Hino, and I believe Sumire was there.
Yep, she was.
The Speed Reapers, that's what he called them. He's like, stop it. We're not friends. And then Nishimura's like, we're not friends. It's like,
maybe a little bit.
Yep. He's warming up. So they have the zoo date. It's nice. Of course, the boys
continue to
bully him.
Of course.
Yep. They don't learn their lesson.
So annoying at this stage.
Yeah, no, I think that's my big con of that. Like, they just do not stop.
Nope.
But basically, Taka's talks about hanging out. It's like, that's a date. Like, you guys are dated. It's a date. Yeah, Taka's like, no, we're kids. Like, that's not how it works, you idiot.
In Japan, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, to them, they're like 18.
Basically.
Yeah. But it's like, that's not a date. Like, we're kids. We just hung out. We had a good time. And then Hino thought the same thing. Like, oh, well, it would be like, that's also a date. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, cool.
Right.
That part happened. And this happens again with the girl bullies.
Yep.
Talking to Takada. Say, hey, did you know that it's a curse for men and women to hang out and be friends? You can't have that. They're never allowed to be friends. They're just fuck buddies, but that's it. Nothing's platonic between man and woman, damn it. It's a curse if it is. And then Taka's like, so it's a curse to talk to you. It's like, no, I didn't say that. But you're girls. It's like, but you're girls. Like, right? And you're talking to me. Like,
a guy.
And I'm a boy. So you guys are also cursed too. And he's just like, I'm sorry you're cursed. And it's like, shit, this backfired.
Fucking guy. Oh.
Yep. So now the girls are pissed. They're annoyed. So they go fuck off.
Yep, they fuck all the way off.
Yep. And it's Christmas time.
Yay.
Yeah, basically, they're all planning a Christmas party. Was it Nishimura's house?
Yes.
Okay, it's Nishimura's house.
No, it's not. It's Takeda's house.
Yeah, it's his house. He sees his sister talking to the sister's friend.
Yep.
So the friend's talking about how she has a date with a boy.
Yep.
And say, okay, like, I'm doing this. So what are you guys doing? And Takeda doing Christmas shopping.
Yep.
With Nishimura.
Yep.
They do all that. They get supplies for the party. They talk about presents. And well, first it's like basically whenever Takeda accomplishes Nishimura, she doesn't question it. And Nishimura does it back. He's like, cool how? It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like,
also, we skip the part that's actually pretty vital. Before they met up, Takeda comes home and his sister is talking with her friend, and her friend is basically saying, like, yeah, I'm going on a date with this older upperclassman in middle school because they're in middle school. So, like, I guess she's in like.
I mentioned the date.
Did you?
How she had it? Yeah, I said that she had a date.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, that was before the mall. Yeah.
Gomen.
Yeah, you're good. Then Nishimura tries to explain like how he looked cool because she doesn't know how to compliment people or a reason why to compliment people.
Right.
So that happens. They do their Christmas shopping for the party.
Mm-hmm.
As they get back, they see the friend.
Right.
And she's with the boyfriend. And he's like, I'm going to go talk to Nishimura's like, no, if it's a good idea. Like, oh, what's the big deal? It's fine. We're friends. Like, why are they just talking? Why aren't they playing games? What kind of date is this? Boring.
Why are they at the park?
Yeah. But as he's about to shout out to her, they kissed.
Yes.
And they are like face crimson red.
Yep.
Looking away. His hands on top of hers. And there was a little flashback saying, like, when he asked Nishimura, hey, when we're older, can I kiss you? And they're like, let's go home.
We still got to pick up cake.
Yeah, we got to pick up cake. Did you see the after credit?
No.
All right, there is an after credit.
Wait.
Basically, they get back to the house, like, hey, welcome back, Merry Christmas. And I was like, did something happen? Like, they're still
red,
face red, shy, looking away from each other.
Yep.
It's like, all right. It was cute. We got 2 more of this. I thought it was a 12, but no, it's a 13.
Right.
So, nice stuff there. Let's see, moving on. Let's do Hell's Paradise.
Interesting.
It is interesting. Confused at the same time.
Kind of.
When we'll get to the power to bed. That's the confusing part.
Yep.
We left off with again Tetsuai with his executioner Fuchi.
Yep.
They see Gabimaru with what's her name? May.
Yep.
Picked up where we left off. Say, hey, you're injured.
Yep.
Can I kill you? They fight for a little bit too. He sees that basically he's kind of weakened because he cut off his arm to prevent the infection.
Yep.
So he tries to take that to his advantage, but ceasefire. There's a ceasefire.
Yep.
And fucking May She's not a little girl anymore.
No, she's now
She randomly grew.
Yes.
And like, what the fuck? And this is where to kind of get the connection that she's one of them.
Yep.
What do you know what they're called again?
Token? No. Kansen?
I know it starts with T.
Token? Tosen?
Tosen. We'll call
Tosen.
it Tosen. Yeah.
Tosen.
Yep. Basically, he's realizing that they're one of them. Of course, people on the other side with what you call it? Shigiri, Yuzuria, and the guy. Like they're also like putting that together.
Right.
And Groot talks to them. Yeah, Groot talks to them about there is a way to fight him.
Yep.
You need to unlock your Dao.
Tau.
Dao, it's actually Dao.
Oh, I thought they say Tau.
But it's spelled like Dao. It's spelled like Dao, but it's pronounced Dao. Yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah. Taoism, yes, but it's Dao. But it's spelled like that. It's confusing, I know. But basically, what?
Anyway,
Groot is explaining this to them as what's her fucking name again? The pink hair girl.
right.
She explained it kind of like she's explained it part. She doesn't fully speak.
Yep.
But what'd you call it? Gantetsu, he gets the gist of it. Like he knows of it.
Yeah, he can pick up on it.
Yeah, he can pick up on it, and he actually tells Gabimaru about it.
Yep.
Also, we did fuck up the past couple of weeks. Like the stuff with Tenza. Like the stuff with Tenza was not a flashback at all. They just came like their own way. That currently happened. They just went their own way. Yeah, that was current time. Yeah, I thought it was a flashback, but no, that was like everything happened as it happened with them.
Right.
So we fucked up. We're sorry, guys.
Go man.
Yeah, I realized that when Shion and the girl were together, the wound was fresh. They were still same age and everything. But we got to them a little bit. Shion is fighting off the monsters. And it's like, please teach me like master. And I was like, I'm not your master. Like I'm not like you're not my pupil.
Yep.
Like I'm not.
But you're free to learn on your own.
Yeah, basically. And fucking what you call it? Shion is still wrecking people though.
Right.
Like he gets his Dao. Like his Dao is fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the blind guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Gantetsu, Fuchi, and Gabimaru, they form a small alliance.
Yep.
So there's an alliance there.
Yep.
While Sagiri, Yuzuria, and the other guy have their own thing. And we find out the two brothers.
They're alive. Not for long.
Yeah, but Chobe, after being cut, like the things are trying to take him, but nope. Climbs up. His brother as well.
Yep.
But one of the servants is there, like basically with the monsters.
Yep.
Like, guys, I just want to talk. Like, just get back in the pit.
Yeah. You'll live.
Just die. Yeah, just die. Happy. You know.
Yeah, you'll be happy.
And the guy is like, fuck that. And he wants to fight him. And he tells the brother, take care of them. And he does it with ease.
Yep.
Like, yep, cool. You go fight him. So while it's happening, he gets his ass kicked again, despite his down.
He's tired. He's tired, and he said like he's superhuman. If he unlocks Tao, he'll be a motherfucker. But he hasn't unlocked.
Yeah, but his Tao is somewhat fine. Like he gets a grasp of it without knowing it.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
But because he's so tired, it's predictable.
Yeah.
So cut in the throat.
Yep.
He's down again.
Pretty dead.
Yep.
Looks pretty dead.
Back. Yeah, and of course on the other side, same person, but go out to Gabimaru.
Yeah, we also skipped over the sex scene between the two gods.
Yeah, I forgot which two is it.
The pink-haired god and the red-haired god.
Yeah, they have a thing for each other.
Red hair was on top, pink was on bottom.
Yep.
Pink had nice little titties with a nice figure.
Yeah, but yeah, that was basically it. Ended with the brother getting his throat slit.
Again.
Yeah, again. Two more of this.
You know, the more you and Starman talked about it, the more like I continue to like lower it down on my list. Like it's barely now in my 10 for right now.
It's good, but I feel like we're not going to get to the meat of the matter till season 2.
Maybe not. Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, like right now I have it.
I love the concept of this island, of how those creatures work.
Yeah,
it's just.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Skip is gonna bump it out of my top 10. I think I'm pretty confident that Skip is gonna bump it out of my top 10.
It's still on for now, but it's like 10 or mention.
Yeah, I didn't say it's definitely 10. For me. Another spoiler. It's at 10, and I'm pretty confident Skip is gonna bump it down to an honorable mention.
Yeah, but it depends on the next one. One of these, it might bump it down. It might stay. I don't know. It depends on these last 2 episodes for this one.
Indeed.
But moving on, let us go with Kubo, the penultimate of Kubo.
This is good.
This is really good. We kind of get a Dato.
Dato's everywhere.
Yeah, for this one, it's basically Junta is finally going to see the movie.
Yep.
That he wants to see. And Nagi says, like, cool, I'm coming.
That's what she said.
Yep. So they do the date thing, and
they get to the movie theater and don't reserve tickets, and it's sold out.
Well, for the time they have. Also, Nagisa has a ponytail.
Yes.
That when you just say he liked.
Yep. Do you like it? Yeah.
No, he likes it in his own way, but so we got time to kill. Like we could do this or 4 o'clock, and he's also being considerate.
Yep.
Well, because we'll be back late, so I don't want to fucking reschedule all that.
Right.
But no, she's fine with it. Like, oh, we can go to the arcade, we can go to get a cafe, we can do some stuff if we do the 420 showing.
Pun intended.
Yep.
Okay, they don't smoke.
So let's do that.
Okay.
Okay, fine. They do the cafe, and adorable faces from Kubo.
Yes, because Junta wants to drink coffee, and how does he like? He's like, I don't really like sweets. I'm gonna do coffee. Coffee is so grown. My sister and they tell me not to drink coffee, like it's bad for your sleep cycle. And they're like, oh, well, not that bad.
So Junta can drink it fine, but Nagi says something. I want to try it because you're drinking it. She drinks it. I can do it. She drinks it. It gets better.
It's better.
Yeah, and then Junta offers, like, I could get you cream and sugar if you want. It's like, no, I'm committed.
Right? They're like, no, I want to drink it the way you drink it. Drinks it. It's so bitter. And I really wanted to say, I'm like, well, that's not the only thing that you'll taste in your life that's bitter.
So stop it. But eventually, she caves in, gets it, light and sweet.
And she's like, I can drink this.
Yep. So that happens. That's nice.
Yep.
And as they're going to the next destination,
yep,
she gets hit on.
Yes.
By 3 guys.
Yep.
And Junta sees that she's being very uncomfortable right now.
Yep. And he's like, what should I do?
Yep, but of course he quietly sneaks in, like, hi, like, where the fuck you come from?
Yeah. They're like, oh, is this your girlfriend? Well,
and then she's like, yep, this is my boyfriend. And they're like, oh shit, we're sorry. Also, go you.
Yeah, good luck. Bye.
Yeah. And they like run away happy, like, yeah, my boy found love.
Yeah, for real.
It's like, you don't even know him.
And they're both embarrassed. And eventually Junta's like, hey, my arm. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's go with the arm.
They do an arcade. They do the
gacha machine.
Yeah, the gacha machine.
And she ends up getting a toy that Seita wanted.
Brother wants, yeah.
Yeah, that Seita wanted. And she's like, oh, well then here, take it as a gift. Like, no, I couldn't do that. No, it's fine, totally.
Yep. So that was nice, and then
They went clothes shopping and were almost late to the movie, so they skedaddled out of the clothes shopping, made it to the movie. And Junta is in heaven watching this movie. He looked like me watching Demon Slayer 1, like the first Demon Slayer movie. In the movie theater. Faces and everything, like, yo, oh,
yeah,
cool.
and she never saw him with that expression before.
Right.
And then it's just she's like very happy to see this.
Yep. They end up walking home really late.
Yep.
And they talk about the facial expressions. And she's like, oh, I didn't really, I can't look at myself. Like, that's weird. Like, see myself smiling. That's kind of creepy. And she's like, oh, it's not that bad. Yeah. It's okay being a creep. And so basically they promise, like, hey, like, today was really fun. Would you,
let's do more.
Let's do more. And he's like, okay, whenever you want. And she's like, that's a promise. And they pinky promise. Yeah. And as he's going home, he starts getting, like, embarrassed because of the faces he made.
Very cute. I can't wait for the finale of this.
Likewise. Is this in your honorable mentions?
Yes.
It is in mine too.
Yeah, it moved up to there.
All
right, moving on. Dead Mount Dead Play.
It was all right.
Yeah, I think I only cared about the beginning part.
Yeah.
Do you remember how this started?
Yeah, basically we. It focuses really on how.
You broke up.
Oh, did I? Am I better?
No.
Fucking cord. I can't believe.
There you go.
Can't believe I ripped the cord. Is it better?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So it mainly focuses on how Phantom Solitaire manages to, like, figure out the information. And they're like, yeah, it's gonna cost you 300 billion yen.
Trillion.
And 3 trillion. They said 3 trillion.
3 trillion.
3 trillion yen. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, well, he's like, I thought, like, it only cost.
Yeah, but you're like 3 million to escape and all that.
Yeah, basically. And
like, yes, but since you wanted that badly,
yeah,
we upped the price.
And basically, you would spend half your life trying to figure out what the symbol means anyway. So, we're saving you time if you want to do it. He's like, fuck it, I'll figure it out myself. Get me blimps. And so he pays.
Get me Zeppelins.
Get me Zeppelins. And so fucking he buys a bunch of blimps. He's like, oh, it cost me 3 million. Better than 3 trillion.
Yeah.
And so
he's chilling on the thing. We see people on the building.
Yep.
Bam!
And he gets sniped.
Yep. He turns out
it's just a card.
Not him.
Yep. And then he uses that evidence, and he's like, hey, you saw me just get sniped, right? He's like, there's a secret organization. He's like, basically, it took them an hour to figure this out. This is only on police information. So literally, there must be a secret society. And that's actually how the episode starts out. The episode starts off with the secret society, like, oh, what are we going to do?
Flashback of it,
yeah, it's not a flashback. It's just like they're
a little bit, like a detail about.
Yeah, they're in like a chat room. They're like, what are we going to do? We need to kill him. Let's get rid of it. This is just like 5 years ago. And if you correlate the 5 years ago, it's also the time that Hosorogi ends up disappearing. And she's the one who knew about the symbol, told that to Tsubaki, and that's how that chain of events happens. So everything is the principle from 5 years previous that we're unaware of yet. Right. So that's pretty fascinating. And then the rest of the episode is just what, like
we get to Sayo. Like, talk about how she's gonna
we forgot about this. Yeah,
Sayo's like, she gotta take a shower.
Yeah.
And then Misaki feels uneasy.
Yeah.
And then she's like, hey, I'm gonna join you. Naked. Yep. I'm naked too.
Butt ass naked. And the real what's it called? The real Polka is like, I'm not seeing shit. Red as shit.
That's the person that killed me, and that's my niece. Nope.
Yep.
And the Misaki's like, so how would you feel if I killed Polka?
And she's like, well, you're not a bad person. Well, how do you know that? You like sharks. People that like sharks aren't bad people.
Yeah. Also, like, you're telling me because you're trying to punish yourself because he forgave you.
Yeah.
And so knowing him, he did.
I'm gonna forgive you. Yeah. Basically.
So yeah, so she basically she wants to be punched. Like, she feels she deserves it.
Yeah. And now they're best friends, hugging each other, butt ass naked.
Yep. And then she finds out Polka is in the shark phase. Like, that's it. Turn me into a shark. He can have my body. I want the shark.
Yep. I want to be shark.
It's like, nope.
Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark. Sayo shark do 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 do. Sayo shark do 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 do.
What else happened?
Shark. I don't remember. I mean, it was really inconsequential. I thought a lot of it feels the Dead Mount Death Play. It just feels really like inconsequential.
I feel like
Oh wait, I remember. The episode basically ends, and the second half of the episode kind of focuses on Tsubaki basically having a conversation with the superintendent of the police force. I forget his name, but he's like a really tall, bald, harrowing figure, and he basically calls him out for certain things, and he's like, all right, well, he's like, you're gonna play he's like, the organization, the investigation rather, has been reorganized. You're still gonna play a key part, so just do your part, shut up, mind your business, and everything will be well. But there's definitely something going on in terms of that police superintendent. He must be. I have a feeling he's part of that secret society.
Yeah,
that we're talking about.
Yeah, they're in the credits. Yeah.
So that was really that. I mean, I am a little disappointed in Dead Mount Death Play, if I'm being completely honest. This, I thought about it. I haven't put my disappointment of the year. I may do that.
I will still watch part 2 to see if it picks up. If not, I think that'll be it.
Yeah, no, I'll watch it. I'm me. Once I'm committed, I'm committed. But
yeah, so we'll get to it when we get to it.
Indeed.
Moving on, Oshinoko.
Good episode.
It was a good episode. It's probably weaker one compared to the others, but it's still good.
Yep.
But well, then again, it's a Ruby episode-ish, and the fact she didn't get that much development yet.
Right.
I think the sad part. It's like mostly Aqua. I get it because he's the one that wants to find it.
It is. Yep.
But I want a little more Ruby. But
yep.
But basically, they're at the agency with Mem.
Yep.
And Ruby's all fangirl, like, "Oh, I know you for YouTube. You're so cute."
Yep. And Mem's like, "Well, I have this one little problem."
But Miyako's like, "So you have an agency?" I was like, "I feel like you want to tell me something."
Yeah, I think I know what it is though.
And he's like, "You're not 18, are you?"
Yep. She's 24.
25.
Oh, 25, yeah.
Yeah, so she is considered a Christmas cake.
Mm-hmm.
So that means undesirable, too old in Japan.
Yep.
Single, nope. That's a hard
pass.
Hard pass for people. That's why she tells people she's 18. And since she never really finished high school, she can get away with it.
Yeah, because of her slender frame.
Exactly.
And no, but we do get a good backstory on Mem, which I appreciated. Basically, she was continuing with her life, and her father, I think, died or left.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And so she was with a single mother, and then the mother overworked herself and she was in the hospital. And so she decided to start working. So she, did a bunch of odd jobs, things like that.
Yeah, then, she gave up her idol thing, didn't she?
Yeah, she gave up idol dreams to basically support the family. Using the money that she spent, or that she earned rather, she was able to send her little brother and sister to college. Or little brothers, I'm sorry. Send her little brothers to college. But by the time
the mother was taken care of.
The mother taken care of with her YouTube, like she really blew up. But by then, like her like Matt said, like she was undesirable. So that's why she really focused all of her content into it. She got away with the fact that she was like 18 because of her slender frame, and because she actually hasn't finished high school by definition. Since she's on hiatus, officially, she's on a pause. So
but Miyako's like, dude, I don't care about your age. I'm not gonna, it wasn't a no, like you still want you.
Yeah, basically.
So Mem, Kana, and Ruby are Komachi B.
Komachi.
Yep. So, but Mem actually gives them advice. Like first, due to her following, they got more followers.
10K.
Yep, 10K. And then we start doing stuff. So like we still have the rights to their old songs. So,
and I love Kana's reaction, like, fuck, they figured it out.
Yeah.
He knew all along. And
we skipped out on how Kana overheard Mem. Like, I know what it's like to be degraded by your age.
Yeah, I was released from my childhood company in 5th grade. Savage.
Yep. I'm like, damn. But Mem talked about, since we have license to the old songs, we can cover them, make some videos to get our names out there because that's how we do it.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, also we got a booking.
Yes.
For the Japan Festival.
Yes, but you know that comes actually after the fact.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
That comes after the
But
fact.
no, but that's not there. But yeah, they're practicing dancing.
Yep,
Ruby, Kana, Mem.
yep. And Kana is
Kana's
exhausted.
tired,
She is
but
exhausted.
Aqua goes to give her water.
It's
Kana
gotta
says
come
thank
out.
you, but she remembers the kiss.
Yep, and she's like, "Get the fuck away from me!" But Aqua had a really good line. Like, listen, like you've been really cold to me lately, and you know, like eventually, even I get tired of being treated that way. Like I feel hurt, and he walks away.
Yeah,
And this
then
really makes,
Kana feels bad a little bit. He's like,
yeah, and
wait, but
he's gone.
he's gone already.
Yep.
And we get to now Aqua doing the sushi date with the producer.
Yep.
And they talk about like, hey, like you did good, all
Yep.
this. And he asked him, like, so why do you want this so bad?
He's like, I'm just a fan. And he's like, well,
Yeah.
you know, once you know the truth about your idol, you know, that
You
fandom
might
goes
not
away.
think the same way, but
Yeah. He's like, I don't care, just tell me. And so he proceeds to say basically that I was like, you know, she didn't care about her appearance. She was late. She didn't really give a shit. She didn't put her heart into it.
like this was just something.
Yeah. So he sends her to to some sort of like actors camp or something.
Yeah.
And that's what she says. That's where she found love.
Like she changed. Like ever since she got out of there, like she cared about her appearance. She cared about what she was doing.
And she had an adult face, an adult woman's face, aka she got fucked.
Yep,
basically.
So and then he says,
"Go ahead."
I was saying he tells Aqua like, if you want, I can get you there if you want your answers.
Because and the key though is the fact that it's the name of the company. Like I forget the name of it. It's like Toki or something like that. But it's the same acting company that Akane is signed in.
Yes. Yeah.
So connections.
Yeah, there's connections.
And he's like,
that's like, so why you doing this for me? He's like,
why you want to help me?
Potential.
Yep. Like, and he's like, also your sister's got a little venture going on, and I think that's a good investment as well.
Yeah.
So I like the dynamic. It's like, hey, you're gonna use me, I'm gonna use you. Oh, you want to use me, I'm gonna use you back. So it's just literally a pure association
they both benefit from what they want. So
basically, yeah.
And now we get Mem's like, good news! I got a booking.
Yep.
For this festival fade, like a big
Japan Idol Fest, JIF, the GIF.
Yep. And she's like, oh, how'd you get that? Like, I know a guy who's an agent there. There was a free opening, so we got it. And then Kana's like, we're not ready. We don't have anything prepared.
And they're like, oh wait, first things first. Who's gonna be the center?
Yeah, and they're talking about, oh, it's a dream. Yeah, Mem and Ruby are like, oh, it's a dream come true if we do it. Yeah. And Kana's like, you both just want it, don't you?
Yeah. And they're like, well, what about you? You have the most experience. Like, nah, I suck at singing.
Yeah, no, he's like, I suck at singing, and they brought up her her bell pepper commercial.
Yeah, which is funny.
That was cute. Like,
that was very cute. So they're like, all right, we're gonna settle this with karaoke, and they do the karaoke.
And also, she also explained like, I've been in the spotlight. They're gonna reject me. Like I'm telling you right now.
Yeah,
they know me. They don't. And Mem's popular. They don't know you.
And Ruby has like this charm about her. They'll love you.
Yeah.
So between you two girls. And so they go to karaoke and they both suck ass.
Yep.
We're a 43.
And they were looking up Kana's Pepper song. They saw she had other songs.
Yep. And they played one.
Full Moon.
And she was a beautiful rendition.
Yeah.
And it was
loved it.
Yeah, I liked it too. And they're like, oh, so she's full of shit when she says she can't sing. And then meanwhile, during this whole thing, she said, yeah, I'll join up with you guys later at karaoke. She's there at the spot in her own booth. And she's on a 97, like a 97 out of 100 points. End episode.
I was like, what the fuck?
Basically. Speaking of karaoke, I do want to go back real quick to the second episode of Skip and Loafer. I died laughing.
Yes.
At Mitsumi's fucking song. Like,
it's like now he's known for singing the children's songs.
I died laughing. That was great. And they're like, oh, all the rules of karaoke. And she broke them all.
I loved it.
It was fucking great. I died laughing. That's what that part solidified. Like, okay, this is going to be my top 10. Just that scene alone was fucking great. Between her and Sosuke. Oh,
I agree.
Sorry. Anyway. Moving
You're good. You're good. Moving on. Insomniacs.
on. I'm trying to think of how I feel about the episode. It was a good episode, for sure.
Basically, Nakaki and Magari's parents are mixed up. Basically, permission slip from the teacher. Like, this is how we need to know that we're doing this.
Yeah. We get a big reveal also from Ganta's father in this process.
We'll get that a bit, but with what you call it? With Isaki. With Isaki's side, it was like normal. But unfortunately, the sisters go in. The sisters teasing Yahaya. It's like, oh yeah, that's why you're brought. That's why the bra's like tight.
Yeah, like, oh, the strap is tight and the cup is loose. She called her fat with no tits.
Yep.
In essence.
So Isaki gets pissed off at that.
Yep.
And then we get to Ganta's side.
Yes.
And Usako, the teacher, is talking to the father.
Yeah.
And yeah, he reveals a lot of shit.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Ganta only caused me problems at one time because of the fact that he outgrew his shoes, basically, and he was like annoying the teacher by clicking his shoes. But little did he know is that he grew out of his shoes. And he's like, if Ganta would have just told me, hey, I need new shoes, I would have bought him new shoes that day. It wouldn't have bothered me none. And they're like, well, why do you think he's like this? I think it's because of his mother. And this whole time in the series, you're thinking like, oh, the mother died of something, some illness or something.
Yeah,
no, we find out the mother left them in the middle of the night, just left her father and Ganta, which is very telling.
Yeah, I was like, ouch.
Yeah, it's very rare, especially in anime. I should say it's not rare in life, but it's rare in anime to see the woman leave the family. It's always the opposite, where the man finds a younger woman or more attractive woman and leaves. We don't know why the mother left. That's not explained. I don't know if we'll ever get that explanation. But regardless, Ganta, misses his mom, feels very hurt, in his own way.
But yeah, like I don't think Ganta. They were probably sleeping when it happened.
Yeah, he left in the middle of the night.
Yeah. So,
but that's why he harbors resentment to his father. We find out his father, like, we always think like, oh, his father's a drunken piece of shit, like whatever. No, his father's a very meek, humble guy.
Just overworked guy.
Yeah, he's just trying to do his best, and he appreciates Ganta. Ganta's very thoughtful. He cooks me dinner, leaves it out for me when I come home from the night shift, but still Ganta holds that resentment to his father for unknown reasons, because everything
because he probably thinks he's why she left.
Yeah, and that's just not the case. The mother just maybe was just a bitchy. Or
she loved someone else.
Bitchy.
Yes.
And they're having problems streaming on Twitter. That's lovely.
Right, but wait, what was that?
You just got a message. I don't know if you see it. Trouble streaming on Twitter.
Oh, what happened on there? Okay. But anyway, let's move on from that real quick. Basically, they're going to Isaki's grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
How's that? So, yeah, it's Ganta, Isaki, and Haya.
Mm-hmm.
They're all there, and Haya's kind of a brat.
Yep.
And you find out why in a bit, but the whole trip is Haya just teasing Isaki.
Yep.
And it's nighttime at the shrine.
Yep.
Haya is talking to Ganta.
Yep.
And tells Ganta you should stay away from her.
She's different.
Yeah, and Ganta talks about, like, are you talking about her heart? Like, I know about
well, you forget you're forgetting that. So they have a flashback, and you basically just see how Isaki's sister just constantly teases her, constantly gets annoyed at the fact that, like, oh, we have to treat her so.
They pay attention because of this.
Yeah, and so we see a scene basically where they're in school, and they have a race,
track.
And they
the track race was after.
No, this is during the flashback. This is during their conversation. She's like, like she's always been special. Like, this is before Ganta admitted about the heart problems. They have the flashback. You see the race, and she's like, oh, they ended up like pulling her, so everybody finished in first place. But Isaki was a competitor, and Isaki just wanted to be a normal person. Yeah, so after the race, you see her just bawling, crying behind a tree by herself because she wanted to do her best on her own. She didn't want to be treated, and she's like, from that moment on, like, I made it a point, like, if everybody else is going to treat her like a glass vase, I'm not going to treat her that way. I'm just going to treat her like a normal person, or I'm going to like go out of my way to talk shit so she feels like a normal person. And then that's when Ganta's like, oh, well, you talking about her heart problems? Yeah, she told me about the heart problems. Like, you know, like she opened up to me. She told me about that. And that like kind of stuns Asaki's sister. Like, oh, like that's
because like she never told anyone.
yeah. And so she, you know, Saki ends up coming over and they end up taking a beautiful picture of the shrine, like all's well that ends well. The next day, though, Isaki's like, yeah, I'm going to go on a trip with my boyfriend and don't tell mom that I'm leaving.
Hiya, not Isaki.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So she's like, I'm going on a trip with my boyfriend and I'm going to leave you alone. Don't tell mom. And so then Ganta helps her with her bags and she proceeds to tell Ganta, like, hey, you've got this, you know, like no problem. And he's like, what do you mean? And she's like, that kid never talks to anybody about her problems. The fact that she opened up to you is a really, really big deal. So I leave her in your hands. And so she gets in the car. She's like, bye. And then he's like, wait. What responsibility did you just give me? Like, yes. Explain to me, what the fuck did I just inherit? And she's like, oh, just ask Sasaki. She'll know. She'll tell you.
She'll tell you.
Bye. And then the episode ends with them being late to the bus.
Their bus are
that's going to take them to the other side of the location that they're at.
Right. But no, this was okay. This was fine.
Yeah, it's informative. Now I'm just waiting because I read that spoiler on the show, and I'm just like, oh, now I want to know.
Yeah.
All because I wanted to know, all because I wanted to make sure this wasn't a year lie in April.
Yes.
Son of a.
We got two more before we get to the rest of our penultimates.
Oh my god.
Gundam.
Oh my god.
Prospera cooking.
Fire.
Yeah, no, she's cooking fire. But first off, it's the aftermath of the school being shot up.
Basically. And Petra's alive, but on life support.
Yeah, Soletta is actually trying to take care of everyone.
Yeah, and so is the rest of House Earth.
Yeah, but and they're like, why the fuck are you doing that? Who asked you?
Yeah. And she's like, I want to.
Yeah, like it's a right thing to do type of thing.
Basically, yep.
And she introduces them to tomatoes.
Yes.
She makes everyone eat tomatoes.
But because they're having like space food, like they're having like
they're
space food, and they're like
dried and shit.
Yeah, this shit sucks. They're like, oh well, here's a naturally grown tomato.
Yeah,
and they're like, wow, it's so good. Everybody's blown away by these tomatoes.
Yeah, because they have like, oh, ew, earth food. Oh, fuck.
They're like, wow, this is really fucking tasty.
He's like, good. I'm glad you think so, you fuckers. But
yeah, ungrateful motherfuckers.
Exactly. Miorin is sulking.
Yep.
But this is mostly Prospera's.
Yes.
She has the new Ariel.
She has Ariel and she has Quiet Zero in hand.
Yep.
Quiet Zero basically is like a space fortress.
Yep. As a fresh paint of coats too on top of it, like the redesign of Ariel.
Fresh paint of coat. And basically this happens after the episode really begins truly when the assembly, I guess the space assembly, are like, yeah, we're gonna move into basically disband the Benerick group. And so as such, we're gonna be taking over Project Quiet Zero. We're gonna basically apprehend it, basically, and we're gonna, take care of that. And oh, by the way, because of everything that happened with Shadiq, Miorin's actually confirmed as the next president.
Yep.
She is confirmed as the next president with everything with Shadiq.
But after everything that happens,
yeah,
it's like maybe that might not be a good idea.
Yeah, maybe
because now she's to blame for the negotiations on Earth.
Yeah, and so there's a couple interesting facets. The first interesting facet we can kind of skip around a little bit. The first one is that Guel can't get in contact with his brother.
Yeah,
we have no idea where his brother is until the after credit, which we'll get to. Meanwhile, Miorin has a meeting with Grassley, and we see also in this whole meeting that Pale basically turncoat against the Benerick group and sold them out, which is why the assembly moved to disband them and fucking go after Miorin and the rest of the companies, Jatark and all of them. And so basically she has a meeting with Grassley, and basically Grassley is like, hey, this is all of our fault because of Shadiq. Your best move is to cut us off save face, put all the blame on us, and redesign around that. And then maybe if there's an opportunity later on for us to reconvene and be partners in some capacity, we can do that with new leadership, or whatever the case is. But Miorine is adamant. She's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to figure out a way to do this with everybody still intact, because this is the way it needs to be. And, you know, basically.
And while that's going on,
yeah.
Chu to Soletta, hey, we're going back again. Not satisfied that you're going to get Ariel back. And I'm going to slap the shit out of your mother.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, basically, it's like, hey, we're not satisfied. Like, we didn't get a proper meeting. We're gonna go get him back.
But again, that's not the main focus. There's two main focuses. The first one basically is, as we started hinting at Quiet Zero, what happens. It just basically happens coincidentally, hand in hand. And so the first piece is basically someone from the Space Assembly, an investigator, comes over and says, Suletta Mercury, come with us. We need to have a conversation.
Yep.
And they have the conversation in like a private tent, and all of House Earth is there with her because they want to support her. And Suletta basically admits everything. She's like, listen,
that she is a clone. She's not the real.
Eri is the real one. And Eri, when we moved off after the Mercury incident, or after the space rock incident, whatever the case was, they moved over to Mercury. But because of the climate change and everything, she was dying. So in order to save her, they put her into Ariel. She is Ariel. Eri is Ariel. And so at the end of the day, she's like, my mother never loved me. My mother only loved Eri. I was only a means to an end. Her ultimate goal is to make a world where Eri can live, and that's through the data storms. The whole reason why I wasn't ever affected by anything is because of the fact that they allowed it like that. But once they took that away, I can't pilot Ariel anymore. And everybody's just like shocked. And meanwhile, while this is happening, fucking the Space Assembly is moved against Prospera and Quiet Zero. You see Ariel there, and she's like, all right, Eri, do your thing. And so freaking murder. Basically, they put up a huge data storm. Knock off all the machines, and then just one by one, just fucking all these automated Gundams, just shoot them all down. Boom, 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 boom. Just everything dead. The spaceships, the command ships, gone, destroyed. Just nothing but floating bodies and floating machine parts everywhere. And that was the first run of Quiet Zero with Ariel.
Yeah.
Madness. And so then this gets relayed over to the investigator, and the investigator is like, well, fuck, we're gonna have to move to plan B. What's plan B, Matt?
What was plan B? Get the gun, get it back?
No, plan B is basically during the incident 21 years ago, they recovered a Gundam. Another Gundam.
Oh, they wanted to pilot that Gundam.
And they basically, the people, no one has ever successfully piloted the Gundam. As soon as they get in and turn it on, they die. Like,
yeah, the data storm is too much.
The data storm is too much off rip. Like, just from jump, people just die because it's too much. And they're like,
and it's like, hey, you're fine, but Soletta admits, like, I was only fine because of Ariel.
Yeah, but they're like, we want you to pilot her, and we want you to stop your mother, and she agrees to it.
And fucking Alon tags along. He wants to help.
Yep. Alon apologizes to Ariel and says, I want the help. And Ariel's, Suletta. And Suletta's like, on one condition, you tell me what my Elon was like. And she's like, as much as I know, I can. That's fine. And so he agrees to help, basically. But he says, I'm not going to get no fucking Gundam. Fuck that. And then we get the after credit scene. Basically, the after credit scene is Guel's brother, and he's just freaking the fuck out, and he's going to pilot, I think, a Gundam too, right? If I recall correctly.
Can he?
He's going to pilot some machine.
Yeah, he will pilot one of the mobile suits. Yeah,
he's going to pilot a mobile suit basically against everything, because now he knows that his brother killed him during the conversation with.
And he blames Miorine.
Yeah, and he's blaming Miorine. Yeah.
So he wants to kill her.
Yeah.
So I think Guel's definitely gonna stop him. Talk to him like, hey.
I think Guel dies.
No. I know someone's dying, but I don't know who.
Oh yeah, people are gonna die. More people are gonna die.
I mean, like main people. So like, someone major is going to die. I just can't see it being Guel.
It's not gonna be Suletta. I think it's gonna be Miorine.
Maybe Elon, maybe one of the Earth girls.
Probably Elon, not Choo Choo.
Not true. The other one, not Nari, the
Nika?
Nika. Yeah, I think she
I don't
will.
think Nika dies because Nika's only basically a tuner, and she already made up with people. I don't think she dies either. I'm venturing it's going to be Elon or Guel.
I think definitely Elon.
It's fair enough. But regardless, this show just continues to fucking just be so goddamn amazing.
And we got 3 more, I believe.
I don't care. This is firmly in my top 2.
Yeah, we got 3 more. Yeah,
Firmly. This is firmly in my top 2.
All right, moving on. Heavenly Delusion.
Interesting.
Yeah, Tokyo has the baby.
Gives birth.
Yep, she's in pain. Like they don't abort it. It's just
Yep.
coming out of you.
Push through. How old is Tokyo?
15.
Damn.
Sorry, 14.
Damn.
Puppy 15 when giving birth because 9 months, but
Yeah. Damn.
But yeah, and she's still hidden away for a while, but we focus a little bit on Mimi Hime.
Yep.
And she checks up on Kona.
Yep.
No, sorry, no. She she's playing with the kids.
Yeah, and there's one kid in particular
one by herself.
that's
Oma.
ostracized. Yeah, and she's ostracized, and she's like, "Well, why don't you want to play with the kids?" She's like, "No, not really." They're like, "Why is that?" She's like, "Oh, like I'm a nuisance," and she starts to cry, and she's like, "No, you're not. No, you're not." And so she takes out a handkerchief, pulls off her Ray Charles sunglasses.
Yep, and you see like Doc Ock type tentacles, like they hold her down, they're stabbing her with needles.
And then
it's like it's an experiment table, basically.
Yeah, and she passes out when basically a fucking jigsaw is about to like enter her brain.
Yeah,
passes out, wakes up after a while. And she's next to Kona, and Kona, meanwhile, is suffering an affliction of some sort because of his connection with Tokyo.
Yeah, and then Mimi, she's talking about what she's like. Where should we go? Like, what she's been seeing stuff lately.
Yeah, she's like, I see things. She's like, I see things that are gonna happen, and I don't know whether they're gonna happen in a day. I don't know when they're gonna happen in 10 years, but it happens. And then I also see things where I think it's gonna happen. Sorry, it's backwards. She's like, I see things and things that I think are gonna happen later, and they happen like in 10 minutes. Or like I see something that's gonna happen like in 10 minutes, and it happens in like 10 months. And they're like, oh, and Kona is basically like, oh, it's not too crazy, like that. You just have a strong like sixth sense, basically, and that's fine. And she's like, I also see things, like I see floating people, aka she sees
the alien. Yep.
Yeah, the alien. And then she's like, I also see like random like things. And as she's talking to him and seeing this, she just sees like a river of blood in their fucking like hospital room.
And this one of the man eaters.
Yeah, and it's a man eater. And she's like, go away, 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 go away. And eventually it does go away. And then she's like, hey, I'm gonna leave. You get better. And she's like, yeah, you too. Feel better.
Yep. As she's outside, she sees Uma again.
Yep.
And she's like apologizing, but Mimi Hime, she just takes the glasses off, so like it's okay, like she's not afraid of it.
Yeah, and
she gets tied, she gets trapped out again, and I was saying, go away.
Go away. Boom.
Yep.
And so basically, this girl's power reacts off your biggest fears. And we also neglected to say, as you mentioned, Matt, it's an operating table. She's like, I don't have any recollection of this, but she has like these like flashes of her on an operating table where this happened.
Right.
So that's pretty fascinating in its own right. But basically, her power reacts off your biggest fear or off your like hardest memory, whatever the case may be from that standpoint.
And now we go back to Maru and Kiriko. They're driving.
Yep.
They're trying to follow the map of where they want to go next.
Yep.
And Maru's complained about the name of the truck. Like, we got to have both our names on there.
Yep.
And then the other guy. But eventually it worked out.
Yep.
They found a town.
Yep.
But unfortunately, there's no resources.
Nope.
So they're shit out of luck.
Yep.
They found one 7-year-old Cambred.
In the truck.
Yep, in the truck. Kiriko and Maru, they're trying to sleep, but Maru is still awake, and outside he sees smoke.
Yep.
He tried to wakes her up, like, hey, there's smoke outside.
And he's like, you're seeing shit. Like, no, I'm not seeing shit. Look. So she eventually gets up, she looks, she's like, wow, you're right. There is smoke. And he's like, let's go do it now. He's like, no, let's not do it now.
Let's go in the morning. Like they'll expect us to come.
Yeah. Meanwhile, who do we see, Matt?
One of the people Kiriko's looking for. Robin.
Robin. He's there.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we're also skipping a couple parts. Back at the academy, the people, there's I guess the men that are there are like building something.
Well, that happened after this. So
yeah. So that's next. So they're like, what are we building? I don't know. Well, if the boss don't know, we don't know. They're like, all right, well,
yeah. Basically, it's supposed to help out Heaven have a better life.
Yeah, they're like, well, we've already committed a bunch of ethical errors, so it makes no difference now. Let's just do our job and call it a day. Okay, they do that. And then we see a conversation, a very raw and very crazy conversation between the director and the sensei who wanted
Encho and what's the professor's name? Not Mikura. Sawatari, yeah. Yeah, and he finds out why he did not get picked. Why even?
Because in order to be the director, A, you have to be a woman, and B, basically, she kills the other person to put her brain into the younger person so she can continuously live for the sake of Heaven. And they're like, wow, has she even so Sawatari asked, did she even consent to this? They're like, well,
like we're in a post-apocalyptic world. Who gives a fuck about consent? She said yes. She said yes when she accepted the position.
She's like, if you want to be assistant director, eventually you're going to be director. The only way to be director is if I'm director in you.
Yep. So she did all it's cruel. It's like, hey, you're shut out of luck. So you're accept your fate here.
Yep.
And we see Tokyo's kids.
Pretty kid.
It's twins. There's two. There's two kids. So she pop a two-thirds. And
damn, Kona got that strong nut.
Yeah. The new director is the one that was there with them.
Yep.
And Aoshima.
Yeah, I think. I don't know the names at this stage.
But then he goes up to her and he says, we need to leave.
Yep. And she's like, well, are the things ready? She's like, yeah, it's ready at any time. We just have to get attacked.
We have to wait for the gate to be open so we can sneak out.
Basically.
Yeah. We go to the morning and all the students have to go to the pool area. And Tokyo's back.
Yep.
And they said, okay, you're going to have a test. It involves the outside.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you what.
Yep.
I'm not telling you when. Just, there's a test.
No, they do the test. I thought they do the test. And
they didn't do the test yet.
No, they did do the test. Question 1, and they go over the question. They were like, if you were to go on the outside, where is the first place you'd go? Things like that.
That was a question. It was just something for them to think about.
No, I think that was.
Yeah. Well, I'd say the girls were still studying after that. Because they were trying to figure out one was playing games, one was reading books.
Yeah.
So they're like, they don't know, is it a survival? Is it there's more to it, and they're not telling them.
Yeah.
And with Mimihime, she's like, why do I get the feeling we should be worried?
Yeah.
And they probably will.
Well, did you ever read the previews on Hulu for the next episodes?
No.
Oh, well, that's the last 2 are there. So.
Oh no, I did not.
I read, so I already know the premise of the next episode.
Okay, good. Well, I can't wait to see them.
Indeed.
All right. Now let's get to our penultimates.
How many of those are there?
We got 1, 2, 3, 4 in our main event.
All right, I'm tired.
So 5 more. We'll get them quick. Konosuba.
Funny. Do we need to do a twofer for this? Because this is no, we don't. We don't have to do a twofer.
No. We did last week.
Yeah, we did last week. We did last week. This continues to be funny. I don't know. Starman says he's like, it's not funny. I'm like, what? You're crazy.
No, it's funny. It's funny. It just came late.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It just came late.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is funny, bro.
But yeah. But no, this is one of my funnier ones.
The last 2 episodes have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah, because they relied on season 1 shit in the background.
Yup.
And we get more of that here, but
Yep.
Yeah, Union and Megumin, they're doing their jobs, like they're working together.
Yep.
They do an explosion. They work with people. Like, wow, good job.
Yep.
But it's like, well, we'll be right back. That type of thing. They're alone, and the demon or host.
We're skipping that basically. It's in effect. It's not confirmed, but it's in effect that basically this demon is acting as the familiar to what's
Megumin's sister.
Megumin's little baby sister.
Yeah.
And he's like, the first comment is like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking, agreeing to be her familiar. And then the Q episode.
Right. Yeah, that's going on. So I feel like that did happen, but yeah, he goes to them and say he's looking for Chabusuke.
Lei Wallback, aka Chabusuke.
Yep, and he's like, why do I smell them on you? And then I got shit, so they run away for now.
Yep.
So we don't get that encounter until later.
Yep.
We see Kazuma, Aqua in the background.
Yep. Continuing the fuck up, trying to make money.
Fucking up construction this time around.
Yep.
It's like no darkness this time.
Nope.
I was like, oh.
But we get a new character.
Which one?
I forget the dark girl. Not dark girl, but like the demon girl.
Wiz?
I forget
No.
Wiz. Yeah, Wiz.
Yeah, Wiz is here.
Yes, twice.
Yes. What did she do again?
The first thing she did was she handed out potions to everybody in preparation of fighting the monster. And then they're all gonna go fight the monster, and they all get their ass kicked. And they're like, fuck this, I'm not gonna get my ass kicked. Bye. And they go back. And then the second time is basically the hilarious scene. After the hilarious scene when Cecily comes back, and Cecily and Megumin are in the cemetery. And she appears as a ghost, but she's not.
Yeah, but that was Cecily is in Megumin's hotel.
Yep, they're like, I'm tired. I'm gonna go back to the room. They go back to the room.
She's sniffing lolly pillows.
At first she's like, oh, Cecily's like, oh, like, welcome back. Do you want a bath? Do you want me? Do you want to join the Axis cult? What do you want?
It's like, no, I don't want this shit.
At first, she find out. She's like, I must be in the wrong room. Shut the door.
Yeah, but then she finds out here. She's looking for Aqua, basically.
Yep.
If we heard she was here.
Yep. And then that's when we get to Lolly sniffing pillow.
Yep. As a episode. But then I'll give you 3 million. Like, well, it's okay.
No, she's like, I'll give you 5 million. They're like, if we find her, I'll give you 10. And she's like, okay, go. No problem. Right now.
We go to the morning to look around, and she goes to the enemy church.
Yep.
It's like, well, they probably know where the gods is. And then Cecily goes off like, nope. She's like kicking the door down. Like, hey, let me in. I know you got her.
And they're like, nope, we're entry Axis cult members.
Yep. And so she retaliates by throwing a
rock through the window. And Megumin's like, why would you do that? And she's like, fuck it. Fuck them.
I was like, oh my God.
It was funny.
Then the graveyard happens.
And then basically the next day, as everyone's trying to like figure out what the fuck is happening, basically they're like, listen, we have to find this woman. She's got like crazy statistical powers in most categories, obviously not intelligence. Like she's an arc priestess. Like we need to find her. So, excuse me, everybody are trying to find her. While Cecily and Megumin are trying to find her too. We see a scene basically where what's it called? She bumps into somebody, drops some change, and she's like, what are you doing bumping into me? Like, hey, that's 10,000. That's 10,000, whatever the fuck the currency is. I picked that up right now. If anything's missing, like we're good. And she's like, who's like, that's not 10,000. And he's like, listen, like I gotta go. here, take this, and he gives her like an extra like 2,000 or 3,000, and he runs away. And she's like, "Oh, Aqua, look what I did! I'm so smart. Look at me." Or not Aqua, Kazuma. Look at me. I'm so smart. And Aqua or Kazuma's like, "You are so freaking ah." And she's like, "Well, pick up the rest of the coins. Come on, let's go."
I was like,
and then Megumi notices, and she's like, "Wait, blue hair? No, that can't be her."
Yeah, because you see how fucking stupid she is.
Yeah, she see how stupid she is, and she's wearing construction. She's like, "Nah, that can't be her." Nuh-uh. So they go about their day from that standpoint.
Yeah, and then we're back in the woods.
Yep.
Megumi and Union. Hey, see the guy again.
Well, you skipped though. Basically, at first they're like, "Oh, he's looking for a black creature." Like, "Oh, he's looking for the Rookie Slayer." Like it's I guess the beast of the woods.
Yeah, and so
Union takes
Megumi,
it down with the fleet power, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's go." And so the demon comes
before that though. They're like they want Union to join the team, not Megumi.
No, they want both of them.
No, I thought they didn't want Megumi for like after they caught it because Megumi didn't do anything.
I don't recall that.
Because they brought him both.
Oh yeah. They're like,
Union did the work. They want Union. Only.
Yeah, they're like, Union, join our party. Like, really? Me? They're like, yeah. Well, when we get back into town, we'll discuss this further.
Yeah.
So then the demon smelling Chamusuke was like, "Oh, Lady Wallback-sama," and looks at the beast like, "Oh, that's not Lady Wallback-sama. Fuck you guys!" Crushes them, and then basically it's the Union, Megumi, and the demon. They're like, "Why do I smell Lady Wallback on you?" They're like, "Oh, again, you must be going after Chamusuke." Like, listen, I'm not gonna give up Chamusuke. They're like, "Listen, little lady, like, I promise if you give me Lady Wallback, I will not hurt you. I will not destroy the town. You have my word." And Union's like, "No, we can't trust a demon." Like, and the demon's like, "No, we believe in contracts and pacts. Like, we always deliver on those. That is like more sacred than our bond is that." And so the episode ends with them basically mulling over, do they want to give Chamusuke to the demon or not?
Yeah, this was good. It was still funny.
Of course, it's still funny.
And we'll finally get to tie in to season 1 with this once this ends.
Yes,
I'm sure it will. They'll do the thing. Union will leave for now, as we're like, "Oh, fine, I'll go join them." I guess.
Basically, where is this on your list?
It's not top 10.
It's still in my top 10, but
I like everything better in my statement mentions.
Yeah,
it depends on the next one. My Home Hero.
Oh, good God! What a scene! What drama!
That's really the main meat of the matter. But before that, though, Kyoshi is on the phone with Matori.
Yep.
And he's explaining everything of what Tetsuo is doing.
Yep.
And he tells him, like, "You're not at the hook yet."
Yeah.
Like, you told me, but still probably gonna kill you.
But he basically passes out from blood loss, or he dies from blood loss, one or the other.
I think no, he passes out.
Yeah, he passes out from blood loss.
Yeah. So now Matori is making moves.
Well, first off, Matori, after he gets off the phone, loses his whole shit. He destroys.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, he
destroys his whole office and then throws up from shock and grief. And then he makes a call to Kubo and is like, I need you to buy me something." And so he basically goes over to the apartment with one of the guy with the underlings. The underling breaks into the house with the door. Meanwhile, Tetsuo is still sound asleep, and the girls are waiting for him to come home. Like, I wonder when Dad's gonna come home. So then Kasten sends him a message like, "Hey, when are you coming home?" And so he wakes up. He's like, "Oh shit, I already slept like 6 hours or like 10 hours or something." He slept a long hour.
He was exhausted.
He was exhausted, and then he sees the two figures there. He sees them trying to break in. So what does he do, Matt?
Which one?
Tetsuo.
Oh, he hides. He's hiding.
He hides in the closet. We're back to episode 1. So they bust in the door.
Matsuri he's mad at the other guy now. Like,
go away.
Hurry up, type of.
Hurry up, and then he gets it, and he's like, "All right, go away." He's like, "I'm there for you, for your protection." He's like, "No, I can handle this. You're annoying me. Go away."
Yeah.
Like, all right,
I don't want to kill you.
I'll wait for you in the car. So eventually, Matsuri opens the door. He's got a black light, a good black light.
Yep, he got the actual one. He's looking
He's got
around. He's
he's got
seeing
the
there's
UV
nothing
sunlight.
there.
He got the glasses so we can see. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, he remembers Kyoichi says, like, hey, I didn't check the bathroom because Tetsuo was faking as being an attendant. Check the bathroom. So you check the bathroom, everything is spotless except for one spot on the toilet. But then he remembers, he's like, fuck, well, this is the house of a young woman. She probably had her period on the toilet or something, or dripped, whatever the case is. I can't correlate that. And he like begins to get upset, and he's like,
And he was about to leave until
he drops the flashlight because he's grieving, and then he drops the ALS light in front of the closet, and he sees the
holy
giant,
prince.
all the blood, and then he shines it to another side, sees more blood, and he's like, he's like, Nobuto, this is where you are, Nobuto, Nobuto, and then he has like an epiphany, and he's like, you're here, aren't you? You're here, aren't you? And meanwhile, while this is all happening, Tetsuo is like having inner turmoil. He's like, fuck, I'm gonna have to kill him. And he's like, no, I don't want to, I don't want
No,
this.
he's like, I fucked up. Like, and
Yeah.
he feels bad because of what he did to him.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't want to, like, I can't. He's like, the jig is up. We're done. He opens up the door and he prostrates himself in front of him and is like, listen, I'm sorry. Don't call the cops. Like, just kill me. Or I'll go to the cops myself. Let me go to the cops and admit to my wrong.
I'll go. Like, just leave my family alone. Just take me.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, you thought it would be that easy, right? And he's like, don't move. And he pretends to have a gun. And he's like, don't move. I'll shoot you. And he's like, oh, well, if he would have had a gun, he would have pulled out the gun and pointed it at me. So Tetsuo begins to wonder. And he's like, oh, you thought like, and he starts going into disgusting detail. He's like, listen, he's like, you thought like I was going to leave you? Like, no, you killed my family. You killed my only family. I'm going to kill your family. He's like, I'm going to take the girls and I'm going to let the men have their way with them. And I'm going to make sure that we like bolt your eyelids open so you can watch them get defiled over and over and over and over again. And when you're screaming for mercy and you're screaming for mercy, I'm going to kill them. I'm going to slash their throats. And then eventually I'm going to behead them. And then I'm going to put those heads in front of you. And then I want you to see their heads. And then it'll be your turn. And I'll let you say goodbye to them. And then I'm going to do the same thing to you. And
Tetsuo, I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he goes into excruciatingly like disgusting detail about how he's gonna have the men rape his wife and child in front of him, and then he's gonna watch. They're gonna die, get tortured, and get killed, and then all that's gonna happen to him after that.
Yeah.
And so he hears this, and he's like, "No, this isn't going down that way." And he basically goes to try and tackle Matsuri, and Matsuri did have something in his pocket. What did he have, Matt?
What did he have? Was it the
pepper spray?
Oh yeah, he sprayed the shit out of it.
He pepper sprayed the fuck out of Tetsuo, and Tetsuo is screaming and screaming, and he tries to call Kubo, let him know like, hey, I've got Tetsuo. He's the one who did it. And Tetsuo manages, like with what little energy he has, to tackle Matsuri, smashes his phone, smashes his phone, and then it's a life and death battle, literally between the two men. They're just going back and forth, punching, kicking, choking, slamming, and this is causing such a commotion that the neighbors downstairs that are having dinner, they're like, are they fighting? And it continues. They call the cops, and so Kubo, he can't reach Matsuri. He calls the underling that went with him, and they're like, hey, where's Matsuri? He's like, oh, he's still in the apartment. And he's like, oh, what was his demeanor like? Like, he was annoyed. He was pissed. And he's like,
yeah, you told me to stay out here. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just waiting in the car for him. I didn't want to leave him completely alone, but I left him alone like he asked. And he's like, fuck, all right. And as this is happening, the cops pull up behind the underling. And meanwhile, while this is happening, they're continuing the fight. Matsuri and Tetsuo, they're both exhausted. Yeah. And basically, Tetsuo's like, listen, like, I hope you understand. I did what I did to protect my child. Like, from one father to another, you know what that's like. You're beating me up because of your child. But I think you would have done the same thing if Nobuto was in the position that I was in. And he's like, nope. And he grabs a fucking telephone cable and chokes the life out of fucking Tetsuo. And the episode ends with Tetsuo passing out unconscious due to being choked out with a telephone cable.
Yep. So, fuck this.
Wow. Fucking wow.
Yeah, this might make my if the finale ends strong.
It might make what? I'm sorry.
It might make my mentions if the finale ends strong.
Oh, it wasn't even in your mentions.
I got too much, man.
Oh my god.
I got too much. I get picked up like these last 3 episodes. Like, okay, this is good.
This
Good.
is in my top 10. This is definitely in my top 10.
Yeah, it has a chance to go somewhere if it ends good. So I hope it does.
It was all a dream.
Oh, no, I'll just worst number 1 default. Don't care. Fuck you.
Biggest disappointment of the season. Lock.
Ever.
All this.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Exactly. All right, we got a couple more. 3 more. Dangers in My Heart.
So cute.
We got a flash forward of Ichikawa in the cast.
Yep.
With Haruya in front of him.
You're wondering how I got here.
Yep. And it's all started with the Christmas vacation, Ichikawa's family.
Yep.
He's happy to see everyone. Cool.
Yep.
Grandparents.
And he goes out and he remembers a conversation.
Yeah, because he promises Yamada pictures.
Yeah, and this was they didn't show this part. This is as they were walking. They're like, "Oh, you got family vacation? Yeah, we went over to the mountains and Aida. Oh, cool! Like I always wanted to see the snowy mountains." So she's like, "I'm gonna take a picture for Yamada." So he tries to take a picture and he's like, "Oh, I'm a little too far." And he keeps going and he keeps going.
Just close the edge of the cliff and he falls down.
He falls off the cliff. A few hours later, his sister comes over and he's like, "Oh, if you can get up, get up." He tries to get up and he's got a broken arm.
Yep, like
ah.
Yep. So yeah, of course the mother's concerned.
Yep.
So
they're like,
their trip is going to be cut short.
Yep.
But they're still there for a little bit, enjoying themselves.
Yep. That night.
It's nighttime. Phone call.
It's Yamada.
Yep.
Because he sent her a picture of his broken arm.
Yeah, and she got so concerned. Like, what happened? Are you okay?
And he's like, I just fell.
Yeah, like they were talking for a little bit, and then Ichikawa's sister
wakes up
behind her,
sees the girl.
Like, she's cute.
Yeah, and she's like,
and
oh,
she thought she was like a streamer or something, like that, a YouTuber.
Like, no, it's my classmate.
Like my friend from class, and I think Yamada heard that. I don't know if she did or not.
No,
but yeah, they hung up.
And so then she's like, all right, I'm going back to bed. Don't stay up too late. She knocks the fuck out, and then Yamada's like, oh, can I call again? So he steps outside and he calls, and they're just talking in general, whatever, and it's very nice. And then she's like, hey, do you have something to drink? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, all right, drink. So he drinks, they both drink, and they're like, oh, like, what are you looking at? Right? And like, oh, I can't see the moon. And then he sends her a picture of the moon and the stars, like in the mountains. And she's like,
also, heads up, there's a storm coming outside. So if I cut out, that's why. If
you cut out, then I'm finishing because I'm not waiting for you.
Yeah, that's fine. But let's move on. Yeah, it takes a picture.
Yep. Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
And of course, we skip a bit.
The next day, basically, before they go on the trip, they go stop at a gift shop, and they're like, he's looking at these charms, and his sister's like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's get matching charms. And he's like, no. Well, actually, yeah, let's do that. And she's like, oh, you want to do it that badly, you weirdo?
But so
he ends up, later on, we'll see. So the whole trip home, basically, his sister's like blurting out to his parents, like, oh, you got a cute girl, like da-da-da-da. Like, what's her name? Yamada. Oh, look at you. You got a girlfriend, da-da-da-da. And then she's like, oh, she said something. And she's like, no, Yamada's not like that. And she's like, oh, you do have a shot then. I'll be.
Yep.
Okay. And she's like, Mom, make her stop. And the mom's just like annoyed and the dad's asleep.
Nice. Like, stop it.
Yeah, basically, stop, kids. And so then we fast forward now. Yamada is supposed to meet up with Ichikawa to, I guess, get more manga, right?
Well, she was walking her dog.
They were supposed to meet up later, and so he leaves early.
But they met up early.
They met up early, and so basically Yamada, they go to the dog park. The dog's playing around, and Yamada and them are like, they're together. And he's like, hey, I bought you a drink. I opened the cap for you. Like, oh, thanks. They sit down, and they start holding hands, like, effortlessly holding hands. And she's like, oh, I forget. Oh, she's like, oh, that's right. Because he went to return the manga and give her scarf back. So he's like, oh, here's your scarf. And Yamada's like, oh, thanks. But, I gave it to you thinking you'd keep it, And he's like, oh, okay, well, thanks. And he's like, well, I guess, I got you something too. He gives her the charm. She is like a kid in a candy shop. She loves the charm. She's so happy. Like, and everything is all's well that ends well from that standpoint. They continue to walk.
I'll say that, but we'll get to what happens next.
Yeah, they continue to walk. And Yamada's like, hey, are you going to go visit the shrine? And he's like, yeah, I was planning to. She's like, great, we'll go together. I'll send you a time and date later. Bye. And she leaves. And then so as we continue, basically later on in the night, Ichikawa's like, I'm kind of thirsty, a little hungry. Let me go to the store. So he goes to the Konbini. And who does he see at the Konbini?
Haruya.
Yep, pervert kun. Annoying kun, I should say. Creep kun.
Yeah, creep kun.
Creep kun, yeah. So he sees Creep kun, and Creep kun.
Yeah, what you call it? The other one is Perf kun. Kenta. No, Show. Show's Perf kun.
Show is pervert kun. So anyway, so we see Creep kun there, and Creep kun is with his girlfriend or his fuck buddy, and he's with Moeka. And Creep kun is like, hey, come with me. Let's have a talk. So they go over to like this little like restaurant, and everybody's like there, and he's like, oh, so tell me, what's Yamada doing like on vacation? Like, hey, do you have her line? Like, let me get her line.
Yeah, well, that's right. He asked that when the girls went away.
He basically tells the girl, so tells the girls like, hey, get me a coffee, and then the other girl's like, hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So it's just them alone, and he starts asking. He's like, what's the line? And he's like, oh, and then so I was right. No, I was right the first time. He starts asking that, and he's like uncomfortable. And then he gets a message from Yamada. He gets a message from Yamada after he says he doesn't have it and he doesn't know. And the message is don't go to sleep. And he's like, oh, you do have it. So then he's like, hey, go get me coffee. The other girl's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Moeka's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And then so he scoots over and he's like, just between homies, just, give it to me. I won't tell her that you gave it to me.
And then he says no. He's like, why not?
He's like, I just don't want to.
Yeah, he just says straight up, I don't want to.
Yep. And meanwhile, Moeka's hearing the conversation.
Yep. And then he's like, okay. That's how it's going to be.
Basically. And Moeka's like, yeah, Moeka's like, oh, hey, like, I'm tired. I'm going to go home. Like, hey, Ichikun, walk me home. With me. And then Creep Kun's like, oh, I'll walk. And he's like, no. He's like, I want him to walk me home. We're actually friends. I know him. And they walk,
or like we live close by or something like that. That's some excuse.
Yeah, so they walk back. So basically, they walk home, and they start having a conversation. Basically, and she's like, I appreciate what you did. Like you did what any good friend would do. And then she's like, oh, like we're friends. He's like, oh, we're not. So she basically grabs his hand.
You're a good guy.
Yeah, they grab his hand. You're like, what are we doing? But then he's like, oh, like they basically they continue to have the conversation, and basically Ichikawa admits for the first time to someone and out loud, I like Yamada. And Moeka looks and she smiles and she's like, I mean, it was obvious. Everybody knows, And then so they arrive to the place and he goes like, hey, you want to come inside? And Ichikawa's like, no, what the hell? No, I'm good. So then she's like, all right, suit yourself. Have a good night.
And we get the most frustrated.
Yep. And so then freaking Ichikawa ends up calling Yamada. Yamada picks up and they start having a very, very brief conversation. And then she's like, oh, Moeka's here. Huh?
Yeah.
And he looks at the light.
He wanted to see her spend New Year's or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he called her. He's like, I just want to wish you a happy New Year's first. And she's like, oh, I was supposed to call you first. And he's like, no, you were on my mind. I wanted to call you. But he blew the opportunity to spend New Year's night with Yamada in the room with the girls.
He didn't know. It was like,
son of a bitch, bro.
I know. I fell for him. It's like, bro.
No. You always go in when a girl invites you. Unless you're officially dating.
Well, somebody. That's the thing. He didn't know. He thought she was gonna try to make him cheat on Yamada. Yeah, that's why he thought. Yeah, it's like no.
I'm saving myself for Yamada. Myself for Yamada.
Yeah, but no, really good shit.
Indeed.
All right, we got two more co-main Demon Slayer.
Good episode.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine.
You and your Demon Slayer no love. Is it in your top 10 at least?
Maybe.
Oh, good God.
I like it, but you just see the problems with this compared to the last season. Like it just feels the same.
It's Demon
And
Slayer, though.
I know, and like I don't give a fuck about the flashbacks in between. Like the cut is inconsistent. The pacing's just weird. I feel like I just been there with the other fights.
It's because you've read the manga.
Well, yes, but still, like there's nothing groundbreaking about. There's nothing groundbreaking about this one. God,
Shame.
Go fine, shame. Fuck it.
Do you not give it any credit for seeing fucking Kanroji's titties?
I give it
You're not
credit.
getting credit for that.
That's fine. That's fine. But it's not gonna make it a 10 out of 10.
Those jugs.
Yes. When she's knocked out. Yeah, I see them.
Those jugs are 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but not the showers. Oh, sorry, not this arc. But anyway, Mitsuri's fighting the demon.
Yep.
He's holding it off for a bit until he calls her a tramp.
Yep.
I was like, accurate.
Yeah, right? Like, oh, facts are facts.
I mean, yeah, facts are facts. Let's be real. She's the loved one, but no, it sets her off for a bit. She's going in for the fight. Tanjiro yells at her, say, "Hey, get away!"
That's not the main body. No, that's not the main body.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, like.
And
but yeah, the giant blast is coming.
Yep.
Blasts her away.
Yep.
Knocked out.
Rips her top off.
Top's ripped. The robe's gone.
Titties are out.
Stunned. He goes in for the kill. She reflects on her life. We got our backstory. Yep. She was basically interviewed for a marriage. It's like, you know what? I don't like you. Don't talk to me. You're not a woman.
No, she's like, oh, only a boar or a pig would marry you.
Yeah, your basically like your hair, your mannerisms, everything about you does not scream a submissive life. Let's just forget this happened.
Yep. And so she gets depressed. She fucking dyes her hair black. And she's just like, will anybody like ever like love me for who I am? Yeah. And she finds a man who like and loves her for this new her, basically. And we find out basically like her bone density, like she's got super strong bone density. Like as like a little like 4-year-old girl, she's beating sumo wrestlers in eating contests and arm wrestling.
And in the credits, if you saw, they explained like how her hair got that way.
I didn't see that.
Those mochis she ate so many, it just turned her hair.
Really, I didn't know that. I didn't. Really I don't pay attention to stuff like that.
Yeah, this place she ate like 700 or so in a day for like months.
Oh my God.
And it got to the point it made her hair that way.
Wow.
Yeah. Who knew?
I wonder how she tastes.
Probably like this passion fruit mochi or whatever it is. Yeah. Sakura mochis. I hope so. Fuck. I hope the Carpet Master drift's there, but yeah, the pink and green. Half and half. Is it half and half, top to bottom, mixed in?
To the Carpet Master drapes?
That's what I meant. Like, is it one half the green, one half the pink? Or is it up and down? Or is it just a mix?
You gotta think it's like green and then because you can't have pink and then more pink if you catch my drift. It's gotta be like pink, gotta be pink, green, then pink. You know?
Yeah, but we see she does like someone. Who does she like?
The snake Hashira.
Yeah, Obani, yeah.
Yep. Basically, he gives her socks and is like, oh, I found these socks. They match your hair. You know.
Well, he made them.
Oh, he made them. Sorry, he made these socks.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't want to wear them because I'll ruin them. I was like, I'll make you
ruin them. I'll make you another pair. And she's like, oh my God, I treasure them so much.
And he says, and you see, he's not looking at her at all.
No, the snake is talking.
Yep. Talks for him. But yeah, Tanjiro gives her the dying is gay speech. She wakes up.
You know, there's more innuendos there with the snake.
Stop it. I'm trying to finish. But
yeah, I'm sure he is too, pal.
But she wakes up. She gets out of it.
Yep.
She's fighting off.
And she's like, I can't believe I almost died and my co-highs had to save me. I'm so sorry for fucking up.
Yeah, she's like waving her sword in the air. Like, I'll be strong. I gotta defend.
Yeah, I'm going to protect you.
Yeah, so the plan is Mitsuri fights it while the rest find the main body.
Yep.
That's the plan. Distract them, but you go do this.
Yep.
So Ganya, Nezuko, Tanjiro fight. Well, for broken foot, mind you.
That annoys me. That is one
that
thing.
does annoy me so fucking much.
It annoys me. Like, bro,
I
like,
get adrenaline, but
it's not even like broken, like twisted. Like it's flabby. Like it's a compound fracture where his foot is flabbing, and he's running like completely normal at full sprint.
Again, even with the adrenaline, no, like you would still be limping. You would still be agonizing.
You wouldn't be able to walk straight. It's a flabby foot.
Yeah, you'll keep falling. Yeah,
you're only
like you have to like run on your heel, but he's stepping on it.
Yeah, that annoys me too. I can't.
Yeah, but
that loses points simply because of that plot.
Like consistency, man. Come on.
Yeah.
But all three of them, they're running towards it. It has like its own dragon head to protect it. It covers itself. Genya bites it,
and we find out why he looks like a demon.
Yeah, if he consumes it, he heals,
and he gets
some
powers.
Abilities. Yeah,
he gets demon abilities basically when he eats parts of demons, which is very interesting. Okay.
Nice concept. I like Genya a lot, so I like these concepts here. Nezuko does her exploding blood thing to break it open. Tanjiro does his Kamikage.
It's empty.
And it's empty.
It's a husk.
Yep.
And then he sees the fucking demon like running away, and the demon saying to itself, like, "I've never lied once in my life. I've only been a good coward."
But we get his flashback a little bit.
Yep.
So we'll get that in the finale. We'll try. They'll make us forgive him.
An hour long.
Yeah, 70 minutes. This is fine. I like the art style with the fights with Mitsuri.
Agreed. Yeah. This is barely in my top 5. It's not even in your top 10, which fucking kind of like mind blows me. Like this, so for now, this is barely holding on.
It's just everything else is just better.
In all sincerity, I'll tell you, when I finish Skip and Loafer, depending on how
it goes for you.
Finish. Yeah, like literally, I think Demon Slayer is fighting Insomniacs and Loafer in my 5 right now.
Right.
That's where it's fighting. Like that's because my 1 through 3 are pretty solid. I'm pretty confident no matter what happens in one of them, it's gonna stay there. I already said what my top 2 are, not in the order, but I already have mentioned multiple times what the top 2 are. So it's right now it's between 4, 5, and 6 are kind of like going there. And I still have Stone, and Stone finished good, which we'll talk about now in a couple seconds. But it's literally 4, 5, and 6 between Demon Slayer and Insomniacs. And if Skip keeps going the way that the first 2 episodes like we're going,
and like I said, it's still good. It's just not great. I call this a smoke break arc. That's what it is.
As I smoke.
As you smoke. But it's just to calm down. Like, all right, we had the climax of season 2.
Yeah.
Chill pill a bit. The next arc, your introduction is gonna come back. That's what it is.
Yeah, basically it's Inosuke and Zenitsu. As you said Zenitsu. You said Tanjiro's not even in the arc at all.
Zenitsu and Inosuke are not in this arc yet.
Correct, and then Tanjiro's not in the next arc.
Well, he is, but he's not fighting with them. He's not fighting the ancestor or. I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna stretch out. This cannot be 11 episodes.
The next season?
It cannot. This has to be the 24.
Can it be a movie?
No.
Okay.
No. Like unless they're gonna do a final season part 1 and final season part 2.
Well, that makes sense as long as they don't do the final season.
I know. Then it can just go fuck off in a ditch. If it does that, no, fuck that, no.
You're not watching?
No, I was gonna say go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself with a rusty sword.
Yeah, I hope you brush your teeth with one of those shaving razors. Fuck.
That's one way to get plaque out.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll be bleeding to hit your teeth, but
basically.
Moving on.
But hey, if Tanjiro could run on a broken foot, I'm sure Tanjiro could deal with a bloody mouth.
But let's move on. Our main event, Dr. Stone.
Our first shared finale.
Yep. We'll talk about the penultimate a little bit. Basically, Senku makes ear device to listen, and they throw it to.
Wait, I thought we talked about the penultimate last week.
We did not, because I left. This was Thursday. We recorded Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. They tossed it to Kohaku.
Yeah.
He quickly catches it, puts it in her ear.
Yeah.
Like, how does it work? Again, this goes, do a Q pose. And she's like freaking out. She hates it. Like, cute. She remembers Suika.
Yeah.
So does the
yeah.
And like, what are you doing? Quit fucking around.
Everyone's laughing, and fucking Kohaku tells Gen like, "Oh, I'm getting my revenge on you."
Like, oh, thank you, Gen, for this. I'll remember sure to repay your kindness.
Yeah, for real. Gen's like, yep. He's like the coward demon.
Yep. I like Gen though. So
yes.
But they get to like their village of where they all are, and I feel like the other girl, Amarilla, she's into incest, which is how she's trying to distract the guards.
Incest?
He's like talking about the muscles. Like, I don't have a brother or father, so I don't have to. She was obsessed with muscles, but she mentioned the father and brother. I was like, hold up.
I'm sure she's seen a penis.
Yeah, so basically, Amarillo's is trying to seduce the boys.
Yep.
While they're like looking around for the treasure.
Yep.
But the strict lady just slaps Ginro with the hey, like, balance. What are you doing?
Yep.
Basically, they have like the water on their head cup.
Yep.
They're spying on them, reporting. So for distraction, they make a mouse toy.
Yep.
So they have it run around. Basically, it's a way to send messages to each other.
Yep. Covert.
Like there's messages in the thing.
Because Senku manages to make a motor.
No, how does he control it though? From where he is,
he doesn't. He just goes.
So how would it know to go there?
Plot.
That I hate is like, how does it get there? How do they control it? What's the range on it?
Oh no, well, Suika is the one that drops it off and it goes, and then Suika waits in the bushes for it to come back.
Okay, but still, I'm gonna say if not, that's a big fucking.
Yeah. Suika's the one that holds it. Suika turns it on. Suika jumps in the bushes, waits for it to come back.
Okay. That's that I can accept that.
Yeah.
And what's going on? Senku is gonna build a drone.
Okay.
Why not?
Because fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it.
We just made a boat. We haven't made a car. We haven't made a plane.
They made a tank.
They made a tank. Now we're making a drone.
Yep.
I'm waiting for the nuclear bomb.
In a span of hours.
Yes.
Hours, mind you.
Yes.
Remember when medicine was 5 months?
Years.
Tanks and all this were like hours. Maybe a day or two.
I'm solely confident that Senku can cure cancer. If there's anyone in the anime world that can cure cancer, it's Senku.
Yeah.
Naturally, with no magical powers.
Yep. No, that's it. I like it, but just stuff like that is like, how?
Where was Senku when I want to eat your pancreas? Where was Senku when you're lying April?
He was in stone. He was turned to stone.
Where was Senku in Clanad?
Where was Senku with those parallel movies?
Seriously.
But basically, they believe they found what they were looking for. So, like, okay, so who knows how to write? So, Ginro, you went to writing classes, right? So Ginro had his man like, I'll do this with you, Ginro. But it's like, that's not what really happened, did it?
You fucking nerd!
Yeah.
Fuck that! I'm gonna go play with my spear and
so now, yeah. So now he's kicking himself in the foot, like, I should have done this.
Should have done this.
Yep. So Kohaku writes in blood. Yeah, you broke up. It's your wire.
Better?
Nope.
Better?
Yep.
It's all fucking crooked. Better?
I hear you. Yep, you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so now, she's writing in blood.
And she's doing finger paintings.
Yep. And so she sends that. They open it up and they're like,
what the fuck is this?
But Gen's like, well, this is where I come in.
Yep, mentalist time.
Yep. So basically, it's like a code type of thing.
Rocket ship.
Water.
Water.
Like something else. Oven. The furnace.
Furnace. And they're like, they found the rocket ship.
Yeah.
They found the Soyuz.
They found
Soyuz.
platinum. Yep.
They found platinum.
So that was the penultimate.
The penultimate is now they have to get the platinum. And how do they get the platinum?
They have to crack it up.
Yeah, because basically, so what it is basically it's covered, and so she's able to chip away at it with her hands, and then realizes it's concrete, which is the same thing that they did with the disc, where they covered it in concrete.
And when it took,
which by the way, how the fuck did they get concrete?
You know. But yeah, she's like, if I break it, they're gonna hear me.
Yep.
So more distraction. So Amaryllis is doing her little dance.
Yep.
They look at Ginro's like, hey, why isn't he dancing? Like,
dance, boy.
Yeah. Well, dance, girl. Like, dance, little lady. But
dance, lady boy.
But yeah, she's doing terrible. But she takes the spear. Ginro takes the spear
and does
spins around with it. Amaryllis is like, yeah, he's gonna fuck this up because he doesn't know how to do a spear dance. But little does he know, he can because he's.
So you know what's funny? He did the circle. He does like a thing, and I thought he made like a circle, and I think he was gonna fall through.
That's what I was hoping for.
That's what I was literally thinking.
I was like, fall,
fall, and he opens his legs. Oh, why is there a big bulge?
Yep. Like, hold up, but
hold up.
But no, Ginro does very well with the spear dance.
Yes.
Catches him off guard.
Yes.
But Kahako talks about they haven't messed it back, saying can't get it open.
You can't get it open. And so they make what, Matt?
What was that? Putty, something like that?
A silent bomb. And a silent bomb is considered plaster.
Yeah, they made plaster.
They make
basically plaster. The goal is basically put it in the holes.
Make a bunch of holes.
And
put the
let it
plaster
expand
in the holes,
there.
Let it expand, come back. So she waits approximately like 10 hours or so. Comes back.
Nighttime.
It's nighttime now. Comes back. She kicks it, and it expands, and eventually she's able to basically like dig out.
Yeah, she has to wait the next day. Yeah.
So she digs out the remains, and she manages to break a glass, and she's like, "Sand?
Shit, I broke it."
Yeah, but she looks and she's like, sand? This is weird. And she's like, no, wait. If anything is in here, it's valuable. So then they do the distraction, and she's able to fucking put the
this one is they heard it. They heard the cracking.
Yeah, they heard it.
So they wanted to go check it out.
Yeah, and she was able to.
She left.
She put the sand, quote unquote, sand in her like skirt, and she managed to jump up. And the next day, she managed to get one of the Suica cars, puts it in the Suica car. Suica returns with it, and everyone's like, sand? And Senku's like, no, this is gold dust. And he starts with a magnifying glass, start looking at it, and he's like, sometimes in gold dust, you can find platinum. And he pulls out one speck of platinum. And they're like, oh, well, we could just keep going through this. And Senku's like, I mean, he's doing it, but he's like, nah. He's like, you realize for every ton of earth, every ton of actual earth matter
is like 0.001
0.01 of platinum, and he starts pulling another one and another one
and basically
and another one. And there's a line that says basically like, in order for you to find enough platinum that we need, you will need to have done this for decades. And as Senku's pulling them out, he slowly starts realizing, and we get a flashback to Byakuya, Base's father, basically every day for months and months and years and years and decades going through until he died. He died in the riverbed finding gold dust, finding platinum.
Yep.
And
I love the visual when he talks about how he died in the war. Like, I'm glad I'm facing this way because you gotta look at the sky one more time.
Yeah.
And
that was really nice.
He talked about Senku.
Yeah.
And Senku's like, he smiles about it.
And while this is happening, like he's counting. He's like, oh, it's been 600 million seconds. It's been 1 billion seconds.
Yeah, he's been counting like every certain amount of seconds.
Yep.
So
And so
all's
then,
going up while he's looking for the platinum, and yeah, he talks about like how he's never really his dad. Like really, he's like no, just
I'm the son of his friend, but he never
yeah,
told me why. I don't give a fuck.
like he technically was a dad to him.
Yeah, he's like, we're connected through more than just the word father and son.
Yep,
And that's basically where
and
the episode ends.
yep,
Is
like
him
they said
acquiring, no,
they
sorry,
said
he
they
acquires
made
platinum
it.
officially. Yep. And he makes like a running apparatus in order to get the nitric acid from the platinum.
Yep, and he has an unlimited supply of it now.
Yep.
He talks about how the real final battle begins and is exhilarating.
Meanwhile, the I guess all the enemies, they go over to the Soyuz and see something's broken. They find glass, and then
And
they're
he's
like,
like,
"That's not
look
normal."
at
And they're like, "We have an intruder."
dun dun
End
dun.
series.
What'd you think?
Very solid. Very solid.
No, I like it a lot.
I liked it a lot. Like I said, like it started out amazing. It kind of petered out in the middle,
But
kinda,
this made up for it.
but the end definitely made up for it for sure.
What do you give it?
4.25.
That's not, yep, about I give that 4.25.
4.25. It's a 4 on my list because I round out.
It's if we're rounded, it's a 4 or an 8 on MAO.
Yes.
But no, I liked it a lot. Much better than season 2.
Yes.
Can't wait for.
I gave season 2 a 4. I gave season 2 a 4, and this is better than
I
that.
gave it a 3.5.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.
Yeah, but I can't wait till October.
Yes,
Conclusion
it
of
was
that
announced,
arc,
like you said.
and
Yep.
then we'll get another season or 2, and that'll be it. It's done. Will be over.
But I tell people all the time, like I said, if your kid likes science, if you like science, if you like stuff like that, like ingenuity and things of that nature, like this is the perfect series for you to watch. The only difference I'll say is that there are like suggestive like cursing. They say shit and ass, but other than that, this is a great series for you to watch with your like science kids, or if you're a science whiz yourself. 100% always recommend it.
Right. Closing thoughts for the week.
I low-key can't wait for the season to be over so we can get to summer, because good God, summer is so loaded. But no, in terms of this season, or in terms of this week, very solid. I'm very much looking
a lot of good penultimates.
Yeah. To be honest, my week didn't focus so much on the animes that I'm watching. It focused more on the animes that I was picking up.
Yeah.
So, in all honesty, my thoughts this week is I can't wait to try and finish Skip and Loafer and see where it lands.
Yep, and we'll get to this soon. Next week, we'll hopefully be talking about Black Clover. We will have finales of Dangers in My Heart, Skip and Loafer, Vinland Saga for me. We'll have the Demon Slayer 70-minute finale.
I think that'll be our finale for next week, right?
Oh, yeah, we're closing with that.
We're closing with Demon Slayer.
Yeah, we'll have penultimate of Hell's Paradise and Tengoku. We'll have finales of Megumin and Tonikawa. I think same with Deadmau Death Play and My Home Hero. A lot of these are going to be ending next week.
Yes.
And some will be like left over.
Yes. And then the week after that will be awards and summer reveals. And we are most certainly taking a break. I refuse to go a week without a week back to back. We're taking a break.
Yeah, we're take a week off after.
You always take a week off, and
that way everything else will air in time.
Yep.
All right, guys. We talked about we talked our luck out of here. 12.
You're breaking up really bad, but you're back now.
Well, I got thunderstorm.
I know.
But yeah, follow me on Twitter at DamonPhoenix12. Follow me at Talk the Kēki. That's our Twitter there. Follow him at Showstopper24. We also have a link tree for where we listen to your favorite podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. Just type us in the Google search bar. You will find us. We want to thank WM2M Network and Chairshot Radio for hosting us on their platforms. We want to thank Sean for being an editor. He's gonna be editing this once we are done. Give me your Instagram so we can bounce.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at AI_anime24, anime24. I really need to get back to posting. I'm going to be posting my fall reviews because I've barely posted those, before I start getting into the winter reviews, or I'm sorry, the spring reviews. I have to post winter. Sorry, I got to post winter so I can post spring. So be on the lookout for my winter reviews as we get into the finales of spring. You can follow my podcast Instagram at podcast.senpai. You can follow our Talk the Kēki Instagram at TalkTheKeki. That's Talk the Kēki. Again, as Matt said, we have link trees on all of our socials, so you can follow us wherever you want to follow us, as well as our other adventures and endeavors. Again, shout out to my boy Andy with the MMA for Marks podcast. I really feel I should mention to the fans of the MMA for Marks podcast, the podcast is not dead. Those are Andy's words. Andy is just extremely busy with life and his businesses, so we just haven't been able to coordinate a time, but we do plan on coming back. Stay tuned for when that is. We hope that you're along the ride for that. And other than that, I think we can leave, buddy.
All right, we'll see you next week with loads of finales. Arigato, onato faku, and sayonara.
Sayonara, minasan!
Bye-bye!
Welcome to Talk the Kēki.